Give me coffee in the morning, gotta have a caffeine. Wake me up, shake me up, dip me back on my seat. Pause shit, juice shit, set up feeling so alive. Coffee in the morning, it's the best way to survive. Woke up in the morning, sleepy eyes yawning. Jumped out of bed, started the day, opened the curtains. Felt the cool breeze, the sun shining on my face. But something was missing, I needed my job to chase. Give me coffee in the morning, give me coffee in the morning, gotta have a caffeine. Wake me up, shake me up, dip me back on my seat. Pause shit, juice shit, set up feeling so alive. Coffee in the morning, it's the best way to survive.
Good morning, everybody. Get on in here. I hope you're awake. I think I am. Good Monday morning. I didn't have to check the calendar this time. I did yesterday, though, I won't lie. I was like, what day is it? But y'all know me, it always is that way. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend. Get on in here and grab your coffee, your tea, whatever your morning vice might be. We are running a little late this morning because, well, I'm running a little late. I slept in. I woke up and I always try to play guess what time it is because I usually don't care. So I'm just laying there and I'm like, I was way off this morning and normally I'm dead on. Yeah, I slept late, so it's all good though. Here I am. I feel like it's a coffee all day kind of day. I literally woke up at 2 a.m. and I was like, man, a cup of coffee sounds good right now, but what kind of freak am I? I probably could have got up, made coffee, drank a whole cup or two, and went right back to bed and probably would have got really good sleep. Well, I hated saying got really good sleep. That just reminded me of Jen Soto. Ooh. Anyway, maybe I'm having too much coffee. Maybe that's it. But anyway, got out this weekend, sat True Crime down on Friday, and I'm not going to lie, I picked it back up yesterday because y'all know me, I'm always got to look at something. But sat it down for the most part over the weekend, got out and touched the grass or the dirt. Yeah, I went dirt racing on Saturday night. It was my cousin's, one of her big birthday moments, and so we went to the racetrack and celebrated her birthday. My daddy was there. We had a good time. So I hope you guys found something to do. Good morning, Miss Witchy. Good morning. Look, I don't have my stuff all set up here. Make us look different. We aren't the same as everybody else. Look, there you go, Forrest. I got you. And Forrest has got us. Welcome in, mods. Thank you all for being here. I know you guys hear this all over the place. We couldn't do it without our mods. We absolutely couldn't. Sometimes I don't know how I do this every day by myself. I try. Right now I'm unpacking 2 cases, and it's hard to keep both going at the same time because I don't know others' schedules and I need consistency. So I'm trying to figure that out, how I'm going to move forward doing that. Honestly, thinking about maybe bringing a couple people on board to kind of help with things. We'll see how things go. It's a lot of work. It's a lot to unpack and organize and figure out what you're going to bring to the table and what we're going to talk about. So I'm trying to keep everything caught up and bring it to you guys as we get it to unpack it so we don't get too far behind in the Idaho 4 case, that is, because there's so much that comes down. And this is one of those cases that I've been following from, day one. So of course I'm going to be unpacking all of it. I'm still going through a lot of Delphi stuff because, man, is there so much coming down. It's even hard to choose where to start. And we didn't even finish the deposition. We began to read. But I lost my partner in crime. I don't know where he went. I think he's super busy. So I'm kind of waiting to see what Joe wants to do this week, if he's still on board. And we'll take it from there and get busy with it. So Welcome on in, guys. Like I said, we're going to unpack some things here. Now, there's been a lot more of the body cam videos come out in Idaho. First responders and law enforcement. We're going to get to getting all that unpacked. There's some interesting things in there that I found that I want to talk about eventually. But we're going to review some interviews today that came down in the case. One audio interview and 2 video interviews. One is with Hoodie Guy. He was known as Hoodie Guy. I'll give you the backstory about him as we go into his audio interview with police. His apartment was also searched, but several times. They found the blood in the apartment. Things that he was the guy walking with Maddie and Kaylee from Corner Club down to the grub truck that night on the "What Did You Tell Adam" video. Actually, I need to grab that. I don't know how many of you guys ever saw that. So they got an audio interview with him that came out, and then 2 recorded videos. One with Hunter Johnson, who came to the house, when Dylan called over to the friends, and then the other one is with Jack D, Kaylee's on again, off again boyfriend, Murphy's daddy. So we're going to take a look at those. Before we do, though, we're going to take a look at a story that came down out of Moscow that I saw this morning, and man, just reminded me of early rumors in the case. It's not. I don't think there's anything tied to it. I was like, wow, okay. And then it just reminded me more of a local, not so local story, but local to the region and to my area that's been going on for a while. We have a local reporter who deep dives all things Gulf Coast Confidential. I'll show you her show in a moment. She's been really unpacking that case high and low. National media has caught on to that case as well. They're doing their best, but I like Molly's coverage 1,000 times better because she's literally boots on the ground. The case I saw this morning in Moscow, I don't care, however they want me to pronounce it, reminded me of the case of August Borden out of South Alabama here. And also a lot of it, like when this crime first happened in the University of Idaho, and I'm going to go ahead and say Washington State University had to do damage control, right? We don't need bad publicity no matter what. And we know that was happening. But when does trying to squash stuff to keep your reputation safe versus getting the truth out there, when is that line crossed and when it should never be crossed, right? So we're going to take a look at that stuff and tell you guys what I'm talking about there. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming in. What is this? Aik? Did I pronounce that correctly? I hope so. We don't like mispronouncing over here, so if I didn't say it right, let me know in the chat. Let me pull up this first story we're going to talk about, though, and give you guys a little bit of this thumbnail, campus fights. Let me pull up this first piece here. Ooh. I got way too many playlists. Okay. So this is going to be story of August Borden. August was a freshman at a high school just across the state line in Alabama. When his mom dropped him off that morning, he was a perfectly healthy, normal high school boy playing football. By the end of the day, her son was at death's door in the ICU. No one's been arrested. Somebody beat the shit out of this boy at the school. Like, they didn't just get into a little fist fight and throw fists for a moment and got a black eye. No. It went way deeper than that. And the fact that nobody's been arrested yet, why? That's the big issue, is why. Even if it's assault and battery, these kids today seem to think we are entitled, we can get away with whatever the heck we want, and there's no consequences, including beating other kids to the point where they nearly die and end up in ICU. Boys being boys. Shit, we had one just the other day. The kid gets knocked to the ground. What does the big linebacker type guy do? he decides, well, that's not enough. Let me, what'd they call it? I forgot the maneuver they called it. And it wasn't like a body slam. There was a specific term these kids are using today. But he slammed his entire body down on top of that kid, broke his freaking neck. So if people aren't out there having conversations with their bully ass children about how you physically can harm somebody and kill them with one punch, if you're not having those kind of conversations with your children, are you living in the dark? I'm not saying your kid's going to be the one to go out there and do that, but what will your kid do if they find themselves in a situation like that? Will they talk? Will they call you immediately and tell you everything they just witnessed? Will they become part of the conspiracy to cover it up because now we're all scared to talk? Or how would you feel if that was your child laid out on the ground needing life flight to come scoop them up now and take them to the hospital because some Billy Badass over here got sideways on the ball field? I can't stand that stuff. And yeah, I'm going to call out parents of these children because I got 4. If mine went to the school and beat another kid to a damn near to death, I expect his mama to knock on my door. I expect it. Yes, Rachel. No arrest. Why not? It's caught on video camera. Are they suggesting the boy instigated the fight, therefore no charges? You can see the fight in the background, but you can't see what's happening. And people did run over to help the boy, thank goodness. But still, it's like, why no arrest? I know a boy who went to prison at the age of 18 because he thought it was going to be a good idea to damn near, well, actually one died. And the other one almost died because he beat them in the parking lot of a bar. He's still in prison today. That was 25 years ago. All right, let me bring up I'm going to drop the link in chat in just a moment because this show, and I'm biased, obviously, because Molly and Pam here. This is Molly Barrows and Pam Hill. They are local. The one on the left, Miss Molly there, she has been a reporter in this town for the 90s. Pam on the right here, Pam is amazing. She's a down-to-earth lady. Her sister was killed, murdered by her nephew, Christmas Eve. He is now serving time in the Florida State Mental Hospital because they deemed him unfit to stand trial. And she has to go back every 6 months for them to reevaluate her nephew. That whole story is on this channel's site. Pam's very open and honest about that situation. Go and take a look at that story. It's pretty wild. And it also, her sister was a school teacher. Her ex-husband was involved in the school system as a coach. There's a lot there to unpack as well before her sister was ever murdered. The husband, got in trouble at the local schools for doing nefarious stuff with students he probably shouldn't have. And when the alarm bell was sounded, it was swept under the rug because we got to shh, quiet now. We can't have the townspeople knowing we're allowing this stuff to happen in our schools. So anyway, that's a whole other story on Pam's side there to unpack. They're going to talk a little.
I'm never going to give it up.
So they're going to talk a little bit about Borden's case, and what they say is pretty important. And then we're going to look at the case over there in Moscow for a minute.
You know, you have to keep on until you get answers, even if it's 20 years later, but we hope it's not like that here. His name is August, and he's so darn cute.
Oh, he's just as cute as can be.
15-year-old freshman, excited. Only his 3rd week of school, and they were getting ready to have their first game. They said he was real accomplished at playing the saxophone. He liked the saxophone, but then he switched over to football because he liked working out. And you can see pictures of him. He's got like a little 6-pack ab, a little cute face.
He looks like a model. He's just beautiful.
And they say he's sweet and humble and kind. So this was, where I went to school, we had buildings that you walk between sometimes. And a long time ago in the 70s, that's where people stopped and smoked because they could smoke at school.
Oh,
and that's where stuff happened, Teachers don't necessarily go out there. Well, this was sort of like that, going from, I guess, the high school to what they call the armory. And that, I think, would be something like we would call the field house.
Yes, and in fact, the story that Pam's talking about in regards to her former brother-in-law, if you want to catch that episode, we call it Confessions in the Field House, and that is taken directly from police reports, investigative school district reports from the Escambia County School District, also involves coaches that were aware of this incident as allegedly. And so what she's talking about, I think we can certainly relate to how this community feels violated. They don't feel like they can trust the answers that they're getting, because whether it's at a high school level or a professional level, we see it all the time that, it's about either the reputation or making money or protecting the program, and not about doing what's right and bringing the truth to light.
Right.
And we don't know that that's what happened in this situation, but this is what makes people wonder.
Right. It kind of smacks of that. But we got to put the players over the plays, not the plays over the players. Because, and I'm not saying that's what everybody does, because with every one of these stories, there are way, way, way more good people trying to do the right thing than not. But so here we have a young man that ends up with, you've seen his face, got bruises on his face, can't even open his left eye.
Fractures. He suffered brain injuries.
Yep.
He's still suffering. He's still struggling to remember things.
Skull fracture, orbital bone fractures here, can't hardly open this eye, kind of just real roughed up. And they said, well, he fell. And
6 steps.
Yeah.
Come on.
But he was up the stairs, they said. And then it's turned into, so this is just happening. This just started on August.
So some people say he fell 6 steps down and all that damage occurred during that. Bullshit. Oh, I'm already cussing this morning. Dang it, YouTube.
The 19th. And so we still are confused about things right now. But August, his mother's name is Kristen and his stepdad's name is Drew. Van Devender is their last name. And then his dad's name is Jason Borden. So it is these 3 folks that love him so much. They are very even-tempered people, and just want to find out the truth. They're Christian. They're not like losing their mind over it. They're trying, all they want is answers, and they've just getting the runaround. So what also has popped up now is that one of the star players, they say, had come up behind August, because they said, and this is what they say, that August and a few of his friends were kind of picking at him a little bit about
this other football player,
right? About
someone he was dating,
a 13-year-old, or I guess that's 8 or whatever, 13 years old, and he's almost 18. So anyway, I guess how that push and shove goes. And they said that August, someone came from behind him and bear hugged him, and then
until he went unconscious and then dropped him to the ground.
Right. And they said, one person said he went limp, one person said he was stiff. So, I mean, people see different things or define things differently. But see, we didn't even know all that for a couple of days. That right there.
And that's what's interesting, too, because his father, you said Jason Borden, he recorded a lot of the conversations with the school district officials, with the school officials, with different people involved.
But that was smart. Record those conversations, because they're going to come back later and say, well, no, that's not how that went down. But you see how this goes, right? There's no way that boy fell down a couple of steps and did all that damage, right? There's just no way. And then there are other students that were reporting this other guy came up from behind and did all this stuff. But the point of the whole thing is, what are these schools doing about it, right? There has been nothing done in this boy's case. So if you got certain witnesses saying, oh, he fell, certain witnesses saying, oh, no, he was, attacked from behind, well, which one is it? And how many are actually saying this? Molly's got, I think, 3 episodes total on that case. And I linked it into the chat there if you guys want to go over and check that out and more about that particular story, because it is making a little more national news. I think Law and Crime has covered it. There's another channel out there I know has been covering it. But I usually stick to what I actually went and watched Law and Crime just to see if they had the facts straight, because I know the facts, right? I just haven't talked about the case here on the channel, but I've been watching the case unfold. So I did go take a peek at what they did, and they were pretty accurate. But we'll see how they play it out. But I'm going to keep my eye on this story because it's a bad feeling, you know? Something happened to that kid. And so what if he said a few things to another guy? That's what boys do. Girls do it. Mean girls are all the time yelling shit back and forth to one another. Doesn't mean you got to go get physical. And even if you do shove somebody, you know, I even have this conversation with my 9-year-old grandson. Boys roughhouse. Boys put their hands on each other. Hell, I've done raised too. I know all about the boys. They're going to do that, but they also need to be explained and understand their own physical strength and what that can do to another human being. I just feel like there's so many opportunities for conversations, real world stuff that could happen that just doesn't get talked to with these kids. Do you even think about it? You know, what would prompt you to have a conversation like that with your child? Stories like this. I don't know. Stories like 8-hour gap between the time roommate realizes her friends are dead and they actually died. You don't think I didn't go straight to my son and say, "Excuse me, son, let's have a talk, baby." If you ever find yourself in this situation, here's what not to do and here's what to do. Perfect conversation. Find those perfect opportunities and then sit down with your child and have a talk. And you'd be surprised at how much they will open up to you. That's what we're about to look at right now, Firefly. Actually, that's why I started with August's case there, another incident on school grounds, right? Now get this, that was a high school versus a college, but yeah, Firefly. And I saw that with my morning coffee. I was like, oh damn. You and I both know what could come of that, right? What kind of rumor mill could be spinning out of control, or is there anything to it? It certainly made my mind go straight back to early rumors in the case. Not saying it's tied to anything, it's just wow. As long as we don't have a cover up, then I'll be good. Y'all find out what happened to this boy. Okay. All right, so this came down this morning. It may have come out last night. I don't know. Like I said, I was reviewing a lot of stuff last night. I had to make myself focus. So I noticed this morning. This is coming out of Moscow, Idaho. There was a delivery driver who attended the University of Idaho, delivered some food to the campus. Anyway, a fight happened, and this boy is now in ICU. So we'll take a look at this piece. Moscow's PD has also released a press release. Did I load that up? I don't think I did. All right, here, let's watch this news clip. I'm going to go grab a fresh cup of coffee while it starts.
Learning new details about a fight on the University of Idaho campus on Wednesday night that left one man in critical condition. Graham 2's Christian Garza has been following this story all day and brings us the very latest.
Today, the family of one Moscow man is trying to wrap their head around what happened on Wednesday night here on the University of Idaho campus that left their son in a medically induced coma.
He's the kind of guy that everyone loves. He's like everybody's best friend right out the gate.
A friendly face nearly unrecognizable after a fight on the University of Idaho campus almost killed him on Wednesday night.
It's a parent's worst nightmare.
It is. It's the last call any parent wants to get.
His parents, Adam and Amy Dawson, say, in fact, at one point, it did.
I immediately dropped him to my knees and prayed right by his bedside because, I don't want my boy to die.
The man has been identified as Austin Dawson, a 26-year-old DoorDash driver. Video taken that night shows Dawson getting into a fight with a member of the Phi Delta Theta fraternity on campus. Moments later, you see a group of people rushing to help.
Thank God for them and thank you. Come and help our son.
According to a press release from the Moscow Police Department, the fight started just before 9 p.m. Dawson's family says his injuries were so extensive he was life-flighted to Lewiston, where he remains in a medically induced coma.
We just want him to live, man. I just want my boy to live.
The Moscow Police Department also went on to clarify what they call misinformation about the incident, discussing everything from the amount of people involved in the fight to warning the community to stay out of the investigation in their most recent press release.
Stay out of the warning people to stay out of the investigation. I get it, Moscow. You got a lot going on right now, but are you kidding me?
The Phi Delta Theta General Headquarters released a statement about the incident, saying in part, the individual involved has been removed from membership and the fraternity is working with the chapter to investigate the circumstances surrounding the incident and determine next steps.
Good thing they weren't from Sigma Chi. Woo, Lord.
As Austin fights for his life, his parents say due to the extent of his injuries to his brain, they can't touch him or even talk to him. The Dawsons say the silver lining at this very moment is that doctors are telling them Austin is stable.
This is the worst thing besides them dying, this is next to that. That's the only thing after that. And it's the worst thing you could ever have happen to you as a parent. It's debilitating and scary.
The Moscow Police Department says this is an ongoing investigation and asked that if anybody has any videos or information about what happened here last night to give them a call. We have that.
Boy, man, Moscow must rely on damn video surveillance from around town to do all their work for them. Did I say that out loud? I did, didn't I?
Number listed up on our website, krem.com. In Moscow, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
That is just ridiculous. You have a fight on the video camera and nobody's been arrested, and you're like, oh, if anybody's got video of the fight, y'all got video of the fight. Excuse me, what do you need more? What do you need? Who was the guy that was involved in the fight, right? Can we get that name, please? Because and find out if there's any ties to the university. We need. I can't get past. They need more video surveillance footage of this fight. Well, yeah, everybody just don't help. Don't jump in. Whip out your phones instead and record it in case Moscow PD needs more video footage. Holy hell! Damn, I hate being a shade thrower first thing. Well, it's almost 11. We're good. It's good. Right, Rachel. If they have this video and you guys saw a little bit of the fight in the back, I don't know. I tried to find, I don't see the video out there anywhere, but I didn't search high and low. I just kind of did a little prelim search and I was like, well, whatever. But the news piece has it. So why are they not, I want to actually, let me see. Let's look at something real quick. Let me find where it's at. Okay, right here. We're gonna watch that little fight clip again and see. And like, oh shit, I started it when I didn't mean to. Okay. All right, let me get this back up because it was like it's in the background, so it's hard to see. You guys got your? Let me get this bigger. Okay. I'm not gonna have the sound on because I don't need to hear that guy talking. What's the norm, right? Let's get the video first. Okay. So you can see the oh, hang on. The guy in the white shirt and the black shorts, he stands up and walks away in a second, so he's not the one injured. He's right there walking. Okay, that's what I was trying to see. All right, guys. Thanks for letting me watch that again. Oh, well, Casey Marie, I've never been here before, but somehow I was gifted a membership, so I'm here. Well, welcome in. We are glad to have you. We hope that you at least like us enough to come back. We appreciate it. I do have some members-only content that I'm working on. I got me a little notepad here with that. I've got some stuff I'm saving for that. We're going to be getting to that probably this weekend. Well, I just remembered I got something to do on Saturday, but maybe on Friday night. There's actually something that I really want to put together that I'm working on. So yeah, guys, there was a big fight there, and there was the guy involved in the fight was a fraternity member. And let me see what did I do with the press release from Moscow. Let's see. I have it saved over here. I get you don't want misinformation out there, but y'all can really help with all that. Y'all didn't learn your lesson with Idaho, right? Let's not blur the lines. Okay, let me pull up this and get it shared. Okay, here we go. Okay. A press release: Moscow police investigation physical altercation on the University of Idaho campus on September 26, 2025 in Moscow. September 24, 2025, at approximately 8:53 p.m., the Moscow Police Department was dispatched to a report of a battery near the intersection of Idaho and Deacon Avenue on the University of Idaho campus. Officers arrived on scene and found one adult male had sustained significant injuries. The investigation into this incident is still ongoing. No arrests have been made and no charges have been filed to this point. The Moscow Police Department has been made aware of rumors and misinformation being shared in the public in regard to this incident that we would like to address, and we would like to address the facts we have gathered thus far in the investigation. First, there is information circulating that the individual found with significant injuries was attacked by multiple assailants. This is false. MPD has recovered evidence that clearly shows this is an altercation between two adult males. Well, then maybe the one that laid up in the hospital can't say, I want to press charges. Do y'all need that first? It's weird. Second, there is information being circulated the injured male was curb stomped during this incident. The term curb stomped commonly refers to the act of striking someone's head against the curb of a street with one's foot. Oh, that's the second maneuver they're out there talking about then. Not just jumping down on top of your victim, but stomping their head as well. All right. These kids aren't warned about head injuries. Y'all aren't afraid they're going to fall off their bike one day. You didn't teach them about head injuries. Damn. MPD is also aware of individuals in the public sending what is perceived as threatening messages to the non-injured involved party, and that the person's fraternity members and acquaintances and inserting themselves into this incident by trying to conduct their own investigation and attempting to contact and harass witnesses. Well, I might need to go to Facebook and troll around. The Moscow Police Department cautions anyone engaged in this type of harassing and obstructive behavior that their actions could potentially constitute a criminal offense and they could face criminal charges. Our agency will continue to conduct its official investigation, and we ask that members of the public refrain from attempting to become involved with this investigation. Lately, the Moscow Police Department wishes to remind Lastly, the Moscow Police Department wishes to remind the public that MPD is the only source of vetted, accurate information. Well, y'all had that little fiasco with WSU where they did not report a white Elantra to your office because, I don't know, something about the car didn't match the year that they found. And they believed you guys had the car honed in onto that investigation. Okay. Lastly, the Moscow PD wishes to remind the public that the MPD is the only source of vetted, accurate information regarding the investigation or any other investigation that is handled by our department. Furthermore, regarding this incident, we shared publicly when appropriate, or will be shared when appropriate and permitted by law. And of course, Anthony Dollinger, Chief of Police. Oh, I got you, Casey. Look, we sarcastic around here, and we'll throw shade in a heartbeat. You're good. We like the shade throwers, but dang, guys, what people are inserting themselves into the case, kind of like WSU Mom Kim, huh? They're like, no, we're not going to have this. Oh, I wonder if she's already got involved. I can't help myself. My mind goes there. So I don't know what's going to happen with that guy. Why isn't there an arrest yet, right? Why do you need more videos of people standing around just being spectators to a horrible crime unfolding before their very eyes? Mm-mm. Well, hopefully the family needs answers. I don't know what prompted this fight. Was your food bad? Was it not on time? Was it his food at all? You know, did the guy look at you sideways when you passed him? You having a bad day? Everybody's got problems controlling their anger emotions. I don't even like going in public half the time because I don't never know what weirdo in the crowd's about to lose their shit over something silly. You bumped into me as you walked past me. You cut me off in the line at the concession stand. You're sitting a little too close to me wherever we're at. There's just too much out there, and people are so triggered. They get triggered so easily. You can see it in the comment sections of live streams. Something is said they don't like, or something is shown. They lose it in the comment section. I'm like, is it that serious? Does it affect your life that bad? No. Have a thought and have a comment and get it out, but dang, don't let it affect you to the point where you're stressed out and unhappy now. Ugh, I can't. We all get angry and aggressive sometimes. I know I do. And sometimes I'll be reading a document and I'm like, oh, I want to spit nails. And I got to remind myself, it ain't that serious, girl. Calm down. Calm down. I felt like my blood pressure was up a little this weekend, so I'm trying to remain in a calm state. Pick my battles about what gets me going and what don't. And I needed to check this docket real quick because I haven't. Okay, let me see something before we get into our next piece here. We're about to move into our interviews that we're going to review. Okay. So, like I said, there's been a couple of channels out there. They're getting FOIA requests are being honored now in the Idaho 4 case. And they're dropping videos and audio recordings and different things. There's a lot all at once coming out. So we're going to start unpacking some of that. And we'll go ahead and get these interviews started. No, you can't honk your horn at people anymore, Casey. They're like, even when I drive or when I'm riding in a car with somebody else and they start getting a little road ragey or a little aggravated, I'm like, man, come on. I literally, you can pull over and let me out. I'll just get an Uber. Or I'll fucking walk to the house. Damn, I can't. The person messed me up for 10 seconds on the road. Now it's going to mess up my whole entire day. No, I'm just going to get over it 10 seconds later. Oh, goodness. Right, Butterfly? You can't help it. My kid went to one last weekend in town, and the whole time he was there, I'm like worried, right? Just worried. I don't know when some weirdo is going to lose it in the crowd and something's going to happen. And it's a shame that we have to live that way as a society today. Yeah, we get it. I was a kid in the 70s, lights on, doors unlocked, go play in the streets. I drank out of the water hose. I did all that. And I understand things change throughout the decades. Duh. But come on, man. Now we can't even go in public and feel that we are totally 1,000% safe. We can't send our kids to school anymore and know they're going to come home at the end of the day. We don't know that anymore. And that says a lot for us as a society that we're willing to accept that as the norm. We've been brainwashed to accept it as the norm. Nothing we can do about it, people. Nothing we can do about it. Well, I don't think that's true. I mean, they forced me to sit through hours and hours and hours and hours of education on what a cigarette would do to my lung. Can we teach these kids what a fist will do to a head? I mean, Jesus, it's not rocket science. Let me get up in that school and do some talking. They're like, this is a crazy lady. Get her out of here. All right, so let me pull this up now. Butterfly, don't matter how old them babies are, right? They could be in their 30s and I'm still going to worry. Uh, then of course I got that 18-year-old that you have to let go of them when they get a certain age. You got to start learning to let go and trust them. Boy, is that hard. But if you have enough conversations, hopefully they're out there making good choices. All right. And know their surroundings, right? She probably gets sick of hearing you have those know your surrounding conversations. She's like, Mom, you're into true crime too much. My kid tells me that, Mom, I'm not one of your stories. Well, I don't want you to be. I don't want you to be one of my stories. So act right. Okay, so, oh wait, I know what I was going to do first. Let me see if I got it here. Don't switch. Go here. Okay, let me. No, I don't want to. There we go. Put it there. Okay, I had to go grab it quick, guys, from where I had it. All right. Now, let me make sure I got it where I need it. Guys, there's still been no kind of arrest in the Celeste Rivas case. There's a lot being slung everywhere in that case, and I'm just like, ugh, it feels so pop culture-ish to me. And I'm waiting on facts. I know this little girl ran away multiple times. The family has known she's been with this David guy all along. I got serious questions about that. I could care less how many photos are out there circulating of him and her. Because duh. Because duh. They knew each other. Video of him in her neighborhood. There's video of her running down jogging down the sidewalk from her house. It's on a loop. Some say she got into a car. The video I saw doesn't show her get into a car. Yeah, that case is so messy, Butterfly, and so many facts. I just can't stand pop culture half the time, and I can't stand when celebrities or celebrity-ish people things go on, because I feel like there's just too much rumor and innuendo, and how do we know what's right? There's so much TikTok out there going on, and I'm not trying to sit here for hours and hours and hours and unpack what a TikToker said and now go figure out if what she said is real or not. I don't got time for all that. So I'm keeping my eye on it. I know you guys are probably if you're following the case, you're bombarded with information, and I'm not going to be able to add to any of that except show what's being regurgitated all over the place. Now I got too much other stuff to go into. I want the little girl to receive justice, and I'm going to continue to call her a little girl because she was a child. And I don't care for sick bastards who murder children and throw them in frunks. I don't give a crap what you call that Tesla shit. It was inside of a car, inside of a bag, apparently dismembered. And y'all need to figure out what happened to that little girl and bring the person to justice who did it. Yeah, his manager's out there commenting, and quit it. Quit commenting in chats, sir. You weirdo. I understand people want to defend themselves, but y'all make it super messy when you do that. How about if you want to set the record straight, we have an open panel here. You can come and join. But I don't feel like throwing up 1,000 stories that I found all over the TikTok. I want it from the horse's mouth or nothing at all. Okay. Now let me... Okay, this is a clip from News Nation, and the reason we're going to show it because it's going to show the piece I want to show you guys a little bit of the backstory here. They were dating Her mother even told the police she's got a boyfriend named David. The teacher at the school stood in front of his whole class holding his phone up. I knew she was dating him. You did, sir? You a grown man, right? And you knew this young child was dating this man. You knew that, huh? And now you're going to come and teach your other kids about the dangers of the internet. Wow. That's the kind of stuff I can't with. Sit down with your 15 minutes of fame, sir. I knew, but nobody did anything about it. And if she was a problem child you couldn't keep in the house, well, I don't know what her mama was doing. I got questions for the mother, right? This girl's home life was. Why she run away all the time? Was she just a problematic child? Was there no helping her? I mean, what the hell? Exactly. That's the whole thing, Casey. So I brought this up last week. Cause of death, manner of death matters. Absolutely matters. Because that's going to depend on charges. Say she died accidentally, overdose, medical episode, somebody panics and does what they did. You can't charge them with murder, but you can charge them with a whole bunch of other stuff. But if they can prove, even like Joseph Scott Morgan was saying, they're going to be looking at the bones in her neck as well, if they can find anything there to look at. If we can pinpoint this child was murdered, then you got a murder charge. Even in an OD, you could still have a murder charge, right? So we have to, I don't know, toxicology is still not back. The body's been released to her family, and that's what I do know. You can't date a minor like that. This girl wasn't even 16 years old yet. She wasn't 17, right? She was below the age of 16, and 16 is consent in some states. I don't think it should be, but it is. You can go get married at 16 in some states. But this girl was younger than that. You know, she was younger than 15, so she was a child. What's this grown man? I don't care, 18, 19, 20, whatever your age. What are you doing with a child? I'm sure if you're a singer and you got a little baller house somebody rented and put you in, and that you got a little Tesla you're driving, I'm sure you had a bunch of women trying to come after you. Why this one young girl who was a runaway? What the hell? Encourage her to go home. Understand that you're an adult over the age of 18 and can cause you a whole lot of problems. It's weird. I just don't. There's something. I can't with them Hollywood types and all their secrets and young people constantly hanging around. Like, I literally can't, because I'd probably get thrown off YouTube with my mouth on that shit. And I know somebody who got their channel taken down recently. We don't even know why. They didn't even get an explanation, except we're looking into it.
And that appears to show two of the University of Idaho murder victims hours before they were attacked.
The video appears to show Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan walking and talking on a sidewalk. The two young women seem to be wearing the same clothes they had on when we saw them in surveillance video from a food truck earlier that night. Senior national correspondent Brian Enton explains how this new video surfaced.
We know that police have had this surveillance video, this new video, since right after the murders, but it is just now becoming public for the first time. And it is not just video, there is also audio. Surveillance video newly obtained by News Nation shows what appears to be Kaylee Gonsalves and her best friend Maddie Mogan walking in downtown Moscow, Idaho, just hours before they were murdered. You can hear their voices in the video. For the first time, we are hearing the name Adam. The attorney representing the Gonsalves family says they believe Adam is a bartender and that he is not a suspect at this time. The Moscow Police Department not commenting specifically on the video, but in a statement to News Nation said any digital content submitted as tips and leads becomes part of the investigation. We review and investigate submissions. Findings become part of the information we do not make public to maintain the integrity of the investigation. Meanwhile, the Gonsalves family is questioning whether the investigation is being handled properly by Moscow police, especially within the first 48 hours after the murders. There Their attorney spoke to News Nation's Chris Cuomo.
From the get-go, we still get more and more information every day about mishaps or missteps that I think the investigation has made. One of the questions we asked when we went in was, why not, within the first 24 to 48 hours, release some information about, we're looking for someone that may have missed work, that may have come in with, injuries to their forearms or their hands, things like that. It's a small community. People that have taken a vacation immediately, things like that normal things that may be abnormal to people that live in the community, and getting that out. And they said they didn't do it because of investigative reasons.
Police continue to focus on the white Hyundai Elantra they believe was in the area of the house near the murders and are asking for tips related to the car. Detectives insist the investigation is not slowing down.
With the holidays coming up, how does that impact the investigation? Because I know there's still dozens of FBI agents assisting and state police. Does that wind down at all?
It doesn't wind down, but we realize that people need a little time, need a little rest. We want them sharp and ready.
Their attorney spoke to they believe.
Okay, hold on one second. Oh, I about knocked myself in the face. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, now it's going to act a fool. But yes, this is yeah, Maddie told Adam everything. And that was a big deal for a while with this case, right? What did she tell Adam? Why would she tell Adam anything? Did it have anything to do with what happened a few hours later? What is this doing? Is it acting a fool? It is. Okay, I'll have to bring it back up. Oh, we've seen this video. This video's been out for nearly 3 years. We're just about to listen to the audio interview that police conducted with the boy that's walking in the video with them. And I don't know if everybody has ever seen that video. Not everybody here has followed Idaho from the get-go, right? Yeah, it's Kaylee, Maddie, and Hoodie Guy. And what Maddie told Adam was always a big deal as far as trying to figure out what happened, you know what I mean? Because how bizarre is it to have these victims, and then it turns up, the grub truck video turns up, and this video of them walking down Main Street from the corner club to the grub truck, and now we hear, what did you tell Adam? I told Adam everything. And we're like, wow, that's a crazy video considering what happened to these girls a little while later. And then there was a lot of rumors that flew around about this guy, Hoodie Guy, where he went right after, the crimes, and how the parents whisked him away to Africa and all these things. But he didn't go to Africa. It wasn't there. No, it was not. Okay, so you're not losing your mind. It's not new. Yeah, the news piece claimed it was new, but the news piece is old, right? So very, very old. Okay, let me see if everything's going to work right. Okay. Okay, let me pull this screen back up. So, of course, you're going to look at this guy, right? You're going to look into this guy. And this is why he was looked into. He was literally one of the last people with these girls. And then they go and they search his apartment, and they find what they believe are traces of blood. It's like, oh boy, what do you do now? Well, you investigate. All right. And then when they found this video, they probably really wanted to talk to him.
Just hours before they were murdered. You can hear their voices in the video.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam.
For the first time, we are hearing the name Adam. The attorney
Okay, and Adam was Kaylee's boyfriend, Jack, one of his best friends. And we even see in the interview with Jack, he's going to talk about how his movements that night, he had took food down to the corner club to his buddy Adam. Then he went home, I think it was, and changed clothes or whatever, because he'd just gotten off work or something. Then he goes back to the corner club, and that's where he runs into Maddie and Kaylee that same night. Girl, I multitask. I don't pay attention half the time. I'm like, oh, goodness. It sucks when you are a multitasker because you can't make yourself slow down, and I feel like sometimes I gotta be doing 2 to 3 things at the same time, especially around my house. I'm like, girl, focus. Go get one thing done, then another. All right. So now we're going to listen to the audio interview with Mr. Showalter there. The name's out there. I just didn't put it all over the thumbnail. There's really no need. Honestly, their names don't even matter half the time, but to keep everything straight, we have to say their name, and it's been court documents and on the video, so it ain't like we're doxing people. The streets did a good job of doxing every student in Moscow, and they're probably getting ready to do it again now that a fight's broke out. Okay, let me get that up here. Now, this is going to be the audio call. I don't guess anybody's gotten the video yet. Okay. All right, I'm just getting it to where we need it to be, guys. Oh. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the law enforcement has doing a telephone interview with Showalter.
This is Sergeant Hathaway.
Hey, how's it going, sir?
Hey, how we doing?
My name is. I want to make like a statement about, the night of this Saturday.
Okay, what's going on?
I'm just friends with Maddie. I was with her at the bar that night, and I forget I don't know the person we left with, but we left to get grub truck at like 2, and we were there from like 2 to probably latest 2:30, and then she and the other lady got picked up in a silver sedan. That's my only description I know, and then they went home from there, and I just wanted to let you guys know as far as like I knew about her whereabouts. I don't know if that helps with anything, but
I mean, yeah, anything helps. You said you were with them?
I was with Maddie at the corner club, and then they wanted to leave with Maddie and our friend. I don't recall who her friend was. I was intoxicated, but then we went to Grub Truck, and then they got picked up from Grub Truck.
Okay.
And that's as far as I knew about her whereabouts that night.
Okay. Well,
yeah, she just got in a silver sedan.
But you don't know who it was or anything?
No, I didn't see who the driver was.
And you said your name was...
Yes, sir.
How do you spell your last name? And do you have a middle initial?
Yes, sir.
Date of birth? What's that current address for you?
Yeah, I'm right down the road at...
You said...
Yes, sir.
Is that where you're at now?
No, I drove home this morning.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Boise.
Oh, Boise.
Yeah, I was just talking to my parents, and I didn't know if I would be helpful or not, and my dad was like, yeah, anything could maybe help, so...
What's a good phone number for you?
Yes, sir, it's,
And what's the address that you're at now?
It's... Boise, Boise, Idaho.
In Boise?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And you said that's your parents' place. What are your folks' name? Is there a home phone at that house?
Yeah.
What is it?
You want it?
So.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think it's like I don't know how often they use it, but
I just wondered.
don't think it's like a.
So you said.
Yeah.
What was the last four?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you just drove home today?
Yeah, it just seemed like everyone else in my house and a lot of the community was leaving, and I do live right down the road, so it kind of seems unsettling being around. Yeah.
No, I get it. Do you have a roommate or anything?
No, I live by myself.
Gotcha. Well, I'm guessing that one of the folks that is working the case, or like a detective or something, will probably want to have a conversation with you. Is that something you're down with doing?
Yeah, I'd love to help if I can help anyway.
Okay. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
The phone number can work. Call or text, whatever.
Your cell phone? Okay. How long are you going to be at your parents' house?
I mean, just until we figure out what's going on with school. I mean, just Thanksgiving break, and once we figure out what's going on with classes, come back and.
So you're because there's still school left before Thanksgiving break, right?
Yeah, but I have a lot of classes that I just don't need to be currently there for.
Okay, so you're not planning on being in class?
Yeah, I just have stuff I can do on my computer.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll pass on your information. I appreciate you reaching out, and we'll have a detective get a hold of you and try to figure out a time to take a statement from you.
Okay, I appreciate your time.
All right, take care. Thank
you. Yeah, you have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
So I wonder when they actually called him in for a video interview, because they searched his whole apartment, right? They're not going to not question this guy formally and talk to him and interview him. I want to see those interviews. I don't, so much. He got whisked away to Africa the minute, the video came out. Would you tell Adam and all that stuff? There was so many rumors about this guy. So many. And there's probably some people who have them from now to eternity, but none of the blood in his apartment turned out to be what they, so whatever. I found that interesting, though, because we all knew the rumor was out there. His parents scooped him up and whisked him away. But he says right there, I called because my dad told me to. Now, maybe he thought what he knew wasn't going to be important, or how do you know that, though, right? You saw them get into a car. You don't know anything else other than that car. Of course, you need to call the police and tell them. That's why we side-eye people like that. We get the not wanting to be involved stuff, but if it was your child, you want people to be involved. I'm getting involved. I saw something. I don't know what it means, but here's what I saw. So I think a lot of times they throw shade on themselves without even intending to, maybe. And then the rumor mill starts turning and flying. And everybody had reasons to look at that guy in the beginning. Everybody had a reason to. You're walking down the street with the two of the victims. There you are. Yeah, he voluntarily called in. I'm not throwing shade. Okay, all right. When I unpack Idaho 4, my mind is always going to go back to early rumors and the fact that a lot of us wondered how much validity behind the rumors. Is Brian Koberger really the right guy? I know he is. but I'm still going to unpack this stuff as it comes out and talk about how we felt in the beginning. There were a lot of people, and Firefly, you know this, that this boy caught so much hell across the internet. And still is and still will. Hell, they got 5 other new suspects now. When I say they, those who live on the fringe. That's what I'm going to start calling them. Those who live on the fringe, who play in the ditches. Those people, who cares, right? But yeah, this guy made it all look a little shady for himself. And then, of course, and when you look at the unpacking the police reports, you can absolutely see how some of these rumors were born and how none of them were ever clarified, right? And so then they take a little piece of what we've learned, and then it explodes, and all these weird things come out about it. Yeah, they should be shameful or shamed, Firefly, for, you know. But then again, I got to pick my battles. And do I go get all flustered because weirdos on the internet are saying really ridiculous things that only the other fellow weirdos are going to go listen to? I don't go listen to any of it. So I couldn't tell you what they're all out there saying. The few seconds y'all intrigue me and I go look, less than 5 minutes later, I'm done already. Brain cells have died. I'm getting in a bad mood. This is ridiculous. Why am I listening to this nonsense? It's never going to stop. So, yeah, as we move through and unpack some of this stuff, you guys might hear me say things that doesn't mean I don't think Brian Koberger's the guy, and I can't scream that loud enough over here. But I'll always talk about what the rumors were in the beginning of this case and what some of this is. Yeah, Sunflower. It was all pretty simple. And even back in the beginning when the grub truck video came out, people were like, oh my God, he followed them. He just went right. He didn't even go in the same direction as the girls. Literally. He wasn't the most shady character in the grub truck video. I know one of the, wasn't even a witness, one of the people interviewed in, what was it, the Dateline, or it was the Prime episode, I don't know, but they thought this guy was suspicious because that's all they knew. Well, we don't know that guy, and there he is at the grub truck hanging out in the background. Then maybe so, and that's normal. Yeah, did he voluntarily call before the video surfaced, though, that he was walking down the street? People at the grub truck saw him with them, during the night. But I just, again, these kids, may not be as bright as we want them to be. He had to go home and talk. And remember the conspiracies about the frat fights and, 15 people went in this house and did all this. I'm like, no, someone's going to go home and tell their mom or their dad. They're going to break. And then they're going to encourage them to go and do the right thing. And here he is, I talked to my dad, and he's like, no, you need to call, which was the right move. Sometimes they still need guidance. I don't, people are going to always yeah, Rachel, they don't follow the facts. They don't care. And they've always been making stuff up. That's the whole thing about this Idaho 4 case. We get derailed in our conversations because they want us to. They want to distract. And they've been regurgitating the same made up stories for 3 damn years. I didn't just pick up Idaho 4 the other day. I didn't pick it up a year ago. I picked it up the day these young people were killed in their home, and I saw it on the news. I started that day, like a lot of us have. Exactly. A lot of the kids packed up and went home, didn't they? The girl next door, 1112, with the video camera, she got out of there. We actually have news footage of her getting her stuff into her car and saying, my mom wants me to come home, and she left. And then they had to call her and get her to download the Ring camera stuff to get it to the police because she was gone too, So but there was nothing in his interview that made me side-eye him, in any kind of way. Just because his parents tell him to call doesn't mean I'm side-eyeing him now. And I hope people don't take some of the things I say wrong. And I also have the ability, and it's a curse and a blessing that I live with my entire life. I can understand and see every perspective. I may not agree with it, and I may not agree with what this person did, but I can understand why they did what they did and how they got there. It doesn't mean I'm behind what they did, right? And I think a lot of times when people can't understand some of that, it's like, ah, la, 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 la. And I'm like, no, it's called trying to understand things. And my mind likes to try to understand. The one thing I cannot stand to hear on a live stream is, it don't make sense, make it make sense. Fuck it, I can't fix stupid, so don't expect me to make it make sense to you. Over here on the channel, we try. If it don't make sense, we try to make it make sense, right? Like that Indian Hills house. The thing drove me nuts. I'm not gonna lie. My brain is a visual learner. Like, this house sits awkward. What's going on? Why am I seeing this car back behind this house? Why is there a street to the right hand side? Well, I figured it out. I was bored and I'm like, I gotta figure this out. It don't mean anything, but my brain got it straightened out. So now it makes sense. Joe, you're always in a devil's advocate kind of mood. If you want to argue and debate, sir, get on up here. What First of all, what we arguing and debating? What are we doing here, Joe? It could go either way with me and Joe. What are we debating? Yeah, Richard Allen did self-volunteer, self-reported, and now he's doing 130 years. But Idaho 4 is not Richard Allen. Brian Kohberger's not Richard Allen. Brian Kohberger wasn't pumped full of Halidol and forced to sit at a table and say, I did it. I think I did it. Evidently, I did it. Evidently? What does that even mean? Right? There you go. And Joe, I'm waiting on you to unpack Delphi. I don't want to do it alone. This is a lot of work. I'm a busy girl over here. Like a one-man band, and I'm getting tired of it. It's a little lonely. I can't keep up. Well, I can, but I get tired. Okay. Hoodie got self-reported, and they also searched his apartment high and low. They searched Rick Allen's too, and said guilty on a make-believe trial. I hope that don't happen in Kentucky to the sheriff. There's been a lot to unpack with that case as well. This Saturday, Saturday morning, Taya from Appalachian Dreams popped up with a live, and I was in chat. And then her phone died, and she restarted her program. And anyway, she sent me a link, and I joined her. Her and Brandy over on her panel. We had a good conversation. I'm going to be bringing them back on really soon to unpack some more of it's getting dirty in the streets of Letcher County. There's folks slinging dirt everywhere, and oh boy, we got to try to unpack some of that. And I think there was a decision made in the civil suit on one of the motions. I got to look it up. I've got her case file here bookmarked, but I didn't look at it this morning. There's some kind of, because I've been reading all of Sabrina's documents in the civil suit against Sheriff Mickey Steins and the Ben Fields, all that. So there's been a new filing, and I got to look into it. Okay, so let's now pull up sometimes kids do just need their parents. Look, when I was 16, I swore to myself. I made myself promise myself, when I do become an adult, and if I ever have kids, I'm never going to forget what it was like to be a 16-year-old child. And how many parents do that? They act like they was never 16, never did anything wrong. Never. Like, are you kidding me? You're lying if you say that's not you. Because come on, man. Come on. I just think that people are, so a lot of parents wait on teachers from the school to raise their babies and teach them all the rules of the world. Y'all know they go to school to learn reading, writing, and arithmetics, right? Learning how to be a good human starts at home. It starts at home. And the parents who do try are going to get mad enough and eventually to call out those of you who don't. I'm a little tired of it. All right. My mama was that mama. Don't make me come to that school and show my arse, she'd say. And my sister would make her do it all the time. I'm like, ugh. Yeah, Rachel, I imagine. You know, when things come out, though, this case is no different than any other case in America. And and I know that a lot of people got turned on to true crime because of Idaho 4, who had never watched a court hearing or a trial in their entire life, had never read a police document, a probable cause, and there's nothing wrong with that. Learn, right? It's a great way to learn. Some of this stuff is so much common sense, and we're making excuses for young people who don't know how to act right in life because their parents didn't teach them how to go be big people in big world. And you're about to send your kid off to college, out of your home, possibly out of your state, out of your community. You better make sure they know a little something. How to make a grilled cheese, how to lock the damn door, and how to call 911. I thought we taught them how to call 911 when they were little. I can't with stupidity anymore. And excuses for young adults who should freaking know better because you're off in college. If you're not mature enough to take your butt to college and survive without mama or daddy or mother, you shouldn't have toted your ass down there to start with. Sorry, that's just my thoughts on it. I'm tired of coddling these young kids for making stupid ass mistakes they should learn from. How are they going to learn from it if we coddle them through their mistakes? Oh, baby, I get it. Yeah, have that nice talk, but then say, don't ever do it again. Don't ever do it again, right? Here's one thing I tell my kids and my grandkids. Come to me with the truth. We're going to work it out. I might get mad in the moment and say a few things to you, but then I'm going to calm myself down, and we're going to sit down and absolutely talk honestly about whatever this is and figure out how we can make it better and do better going forward. And I'm not going to get caught up in the he said, she said, they made me do it stuff. They made me do it. If I let one get away with they made me do it, then guess what? My whole life, they did it. They made me do it. They hurt my feelings. They looked at me funny. They did it. Who the hell is they? Okay, let's play this. This is the interview with Hunter Johnson conducted on 11/13/2022, a few hours after the crime. Remember, Hunter is the one who entered the home once Dylan called over to Emily's apartment to summons her friends, like the PCA says. And we all know Hunter entered the home. He's the one who went upstairs and discovered Xana and Ethan. Now, one thing that Hunter does say in this interview, and people will die on the hill, and I'm not here to argue about it because I don't care. There was one person who did an interview very early on with a media outlet that claims they walked their darn dog and saw the front door open to 1122 King Road. Okay. You said it one time to one media outlet and it was never mentioned again. Hunter claims that door was locked and he had to enter the PIN code to get in, and those girls were not outside of the house. They were in Bethany's bedroom. So take that with a grain of salt with everything else. And here we go. Of course.
What's your first name? Hunter, what's your middle initial now?
Remember, guys, it's all redacted. So when it goes silent, it's because of their redactions. It's not us. It's serious.
Address for you. So you do not live at the house, right?
No.
Okay.
Joe, I can write you the night the lights went out and let your mind. Look, Vicki Lawrence deserves all the credit for that song because I was a little girl when that song come out and I fell madly in love with it. I don't know why. It was a story. I love storytelling. I love good songs that tell me a good story. And that song, to me, was a story. I love storytellers. I love country music artists who are amazing storytellers. And that song is it. I sing it all the time. I've sang it my entire life. And Reba just made it even better, right? Yeah, you can't trust your soul to no backwoods Southern lawyer. I live in the South. I know.
So what do you got for me? What do you know?
It was like right around noon, maybe just before then, and called my girlfriend that she thought something was not right in her house, and she heard and saw a man in their house last night, and she wanted us to come over to like make sure everything was okay, because they just locked themselves in their I think is what they said. And so I was the first one to get over there. I left pretty quickly because I just wanted to make sure, and I got over there and I walked up the stairs and I immediately went into Xana's room, which was the only room I went into. I went up the stairs, saw them. Were pretty uncontrollably crying and didn't know what was going on. Sure. And I told them to get out of the house and call the cops. And I went to the kitchen and grabbed a knife from the drawer because I didn't know if someone was still in the house or not. And I grabbed the knife. It's probably still on the little table they have in the living room area.
Downstairs?
Like in the middle, like where the kitchen level, that level.
There's like a little area there.
Yeah, there's an area, and I put the knife there after, but I grabbed the knife and I went into the room and I checked like the closet and everything to make sure there was no one in there, and it didn't seem like anyone was in there. And then I
Okay.
and shoot, I'm forgetting the other guy's name. Sorry, this is just a lot. What's his name? That's his name. They all came into the house. They were coming up the stairs, and I told them, get out. They do not want to come in. They need to get out. And that's when you guys roughly showed up around the scene, was when I told them to get out.
Get out, okay.
And then one of the policemen came, and I showed him where I saw them, and he just said, stay where you're at. And I said, okay. And I didn't know if there were any more people upstairs. I didn't go up there.
Okay.
The cops came as soon as.
What, did you go to the party last night?
No.
Okay.
I was talking with Ethan. I have texts from him most of the night. We were talking because he wanted me to come, and I didn't really want to walk all the way over there. Yeah.
The text messages, were they just through Messenger, or they through?
Just, normal message, iMessage or whatever.
You got your phone on you?
No, I didn't go grab it though.
Where is it?
It's just in there.
I'll have to do that in just a sec. So how do you know Ethan?
I met him during Rush in college. It's where you try to go into a house.
Is Ethan part of a fraternity? He is. Okay.
Yeah. And I met him there and during Rush, and I've known him ever since the fall of last year.
Okay. Are you in a fraternity now?
I'm a grad student. I don't live in the house anymore, but I was in.
Okay. Is that what they call whatever it was?
Or that's a sorority.
That's a different one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know any of these names.
It's totally okay.
Okay. So, your girlfriend.
Yep.
Right. So she gets a call from around noonish.
Yep.
Basically says that there was somebody in the house. She tells you, so you head over to the place.
Yeah, it was on speakerphone, so me all heard it, and we all kind of got up and we're gonna go check on them.
The same sorority?
Yeah.
Is that how they know each other?
Yeah, they're also roommates.
Okay. And where does he come in? Is he just...
He's in a different, he's in a fraternity, but he is like seeing right now, so he was just staying, he stayed the night over at their apartment. I stayed there and she stayed there. So I was in her room and he was in her room.
Okay. What time... So, I'm trying to figure out who's who now. Did not go to the party last night, right?
No.
That was the one I'm thinking of. There was another vowel name there that I was getting up. Okay, so you and Aaron go to the party.
No.
You guys just hang out?
Yeah, they didn't go either.
Okay. And then other than, you walked up the stairs, was the
when I walked into the house and like entered the code to get into the house, they were in the room, which is on the very bottom floor, like right next to the main
to the front, right?
So he says right there, when he got there, the door was shut and he had to enter the code to go into the house, and Bethany and Dylan were in Bethany's bedroom. So they never came out of the house and waited for their friends to show up from next door, right? Like a lot, we kind of were thinking in our heads because of the way the reports were reading and different things, and 911 call. Apparently those girls never left that house that morning. And according to Hunter, now the door may have been open when the guy walked the dog, but at some point that door was shut again. Then we heard the girls say the door was broken and the wind could make it ajar. Did it swing open and then shut back? My back door, I live in a wind tunnel. If it's windy outside, I better deadbolt that door. Otherwise, it's coming open and it will slam open to my deck railing. I'm going to have to get a new door. It's like tearing my door up. But I have to keep that deadbolt on. If I don't, that door's going to pop open every time. And then if it does pop open and I'm like in the living room and I'm not like right there by it, it'll slam right back shut again. So I don't know, what's going on with this door situation. But when Hunter arrived, it's shut, it's locked, and the girls are inside the home. You've been avoiding watching them, Casey? Oh, goodness. It probably depends on where you go watch them at, I mean, I'm going to have questions along the way, but I know the right guy's sitting in prison. And the numbers of my shows probably reflect that, but who cares?
And they heard me come in and they were like, oh my God. And I was like, it's just what's going on.
Okay.
And that's when I walked upstairs and they're like, we don't know what's going on. And I checked it out. And
how did you get the code to the door?
We just know it because we're all friends.
Okay. When was the last time that you were over at?
The last time before today was yesterday.
Okay. And what were you doing over there yesterday?
We were pre-gaming the football game for the families.
Gotcha. Was anybody there?
No, she was at work at the football game.
What time did you get to the house and then you guys left at game time, I'm guessing?
What time did we get there at?
Yeah.
I would say it was roughly either noon or 1.
Okay.
Like somewhere around there.
Then what time did you guys leave?
We left their house and went to a different apartment at the Whites at I would say roughly like 2:30.
Okay.
And then everyone left and there was no one there.
Okay.
We all left together.
So last time you were there was 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time I was there?
The night before.
Okay.
Like the night before yesterday.
So that would be what, Friday night?
Yes, Friday night.
Okay. So you walk in the door, and are in the bedroom down the first floor.
Yep.
Obviously they're kind of freaked out. You see them.
Mm-hmm.
You head upstairs.
Yep.
Hit that open area where the kitchen and all that stuff is.
Yeah, like where the couches are. I walk in and then I look into Xana's room because the door was like somewhat open.
Okay.
And then I like opened it and then I saw that and I told them to get out.
He said the door was somewhat open. Now, there's another creator out there who's been in communication with these parents. When I say these parents, I mean the G's. And they did telephone interviews and blah, 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 whatever. So a lot of misinformation was floating around out there. And you could absolutely tell the G's weren't getting the information from the police. They were getting them from YouTubers. And from what they had heard, Xana's door was shut and locked. And Hunter had to pretty much bust the door in to get in there. And that was put out there on a YouTube channel as the facts. Wrong.
And called the cops. Because it seemed because I didn't know what I was seeing, like the. And then I told them to
get out.
Get out.
Right. Anybody that you know that has it out or has a problem with Ethan and Xana? How long have they been dating? Do you know? Has it been a minute?
Yeah, they've been dating for a little bit.
Okay.
I want to say they've been dating. They were dating for like, I would say 8 months.
Okay.
Probably.
No problem with Xana's ex or with Ethan have an ex?
He did, but she doesn't go here.
Okay, so they're all right.
Okay, well, I'm going to let this keep playing while I run to the coffee pot really quick. Casey, you said you didn't want to hear Jack D's interview. It's coming up, hon. I don't know why you don't want to hear it, but I don't know why. I don't know if you feel some kind of way. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to go run to the coffee pot, guys. I'll be right back while this is playing. I've got my phone so I can keep up with what's going on and make sure we're still good. Well, it is dangerous, Rachel, but, I don't mind that the parents came out and spoke to that creator a long time ago. It's not that I'm throwing shade about it. It's just the information given to them was completely wrong. And it was completely obvious they were talking to a lot of different creators. Any creator that approached the Gonzalez family with I got a piece of information, they were willing to listen to. So any of those creators out there who think they're special, you're not special because you communicated with the Gonzalez family. There's a whole lot of words I could use right now. Special ain't one of them.
Okay.
I don't know anyone who would have it out for them.
How well did you know Xana and, or not Xana, sorry, Maddie and Kaylee?
I knew Xana very well just because we were all friends. Yeah, and we were all friends together, and I've been friends with Xana for a long time. Maddie, I could be acquaintances with. I didn't really know her that well. I just saw her at her house every once in a while. I would say hi and have conversations with her.
Okay.
But I didn't really know her super well like I knew Ethan and Xana.
Right.
And then Kylie, I didn't know really at all.
Okay. You weren't around to see anything. That's no big deal. Nothing on social media. Nothing's been posted. Nothing's. Nothing going on around there?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab my phone, not my phone, my camera. If I'll have you grab your phone, so I can grab some pictures of those. Those two ones. I'll be right there.
Okay. This was the last text from yesterday. He sent this picture to me, and then I asked if you guys are still like, and he said, "Yep, where you at?"
Okay.
This was.
Can I go back a little bit?
Sure.
Can we go with that? That's the afternoon. So that's him trying to get you to go to the party? Or is that him getting you to
This
the
part right here was to go to the pregame at their house.
Gotcha.
This was at the pregame, and then this was, I was asking about that party that night.
Right. And I'm just gonna grab it.
And his contact info.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you can think of? Anything that maybe talking about over the last couple of weeks that maybe be involving them, or?
No, I can't think of anything, honestly.
Okay. Who else? I don't know anybody out there, so it's kind of weird for me to say, hey, I'll just take the next number, you know, starting number 4 now, whatever it is, because it's kind of gay. Who else out there should I talk to sooner than others, that they can get maybe them on their way and go to their...
You already talked to, right? I'm pretty sure someone already talked to her.
I think so.
And then I already talked to.
Yep, I talked to Dylan.
There's the are Ethan's twins.
Okay. And what was the other one? So we have 2. Okay.
Didn't go into the house.
Okay.
I don't think he would be much help, but you could talk to him if you wanted.
Okay.
Also didn't go into the house really. Like I told them to get out as soon as they got in. Was walking up the stairs when I told her to get out. I'm the only one that I know saw anything.
Okay.
Like at least
Right.
I don't think them saw it because they were too scared to like go check it out.
Okay. Okay. And I will see if I can talk to them. Or both.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Obviously, if there's anything that comes up, pops up, you know, with it's kind of an event like this that's traumatic, a lot of times things will just kind of get tossed around or whatever. So if something pops up later on down the road, you know, obviously give us a call, give us a shout. Regardless of what it is, sometimes you'll just be staring at some french fries and something will come back in.
Okay.
Or obviously if you hear something pops up on social media, then call the department and let us know.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
Anything
If something pops up on social media, like if you see something or get a suspicious vibe.
else I need to know?
I don't think so. Yeah.
It really is so, it's horrendous to know what that kid walked into that house and saw. And then we've seen the video of the body cams where the steak knife that he went and got for protection that morning was still laying on the ping pong table, the beer pong table. And again, that pong table, it fell over, all these cups scattered. That's what I heard. There's a lot of cups still standing on that table. That table might have got bumped ever so slightly. And a few cups might have fallen to the ground. But I beg to differ with an opinion there that that table was bumped so hard, all the cups knocked down. Old girl down there on, Miss Flashbang, firecracker witness in person. She heard all them cups falling. That's how she knew they ran to the table. There's a damn beer bottle sitting on the table with liquid in the bottle that's not knocked over, along with red Solo cups. All nice little triangle at the end of the table. So come again with that table got bumped hard and cups scattered everywhere? A couple, maybe. How loud is a couple of cups hitting the floor? Did a beer bottle also hit the floor? I mean, I don't know. That's not like somebody ran through there and knocked the table completely over. Casey, are you out, dear? Let's see what you guys are saying. That boy didn't expect to walk in that house and find what he found, right? None of them did, And Jack waking up from his house down the street and looking outside and seeing all the activity and trying to make his way down there to figure out what's going on. And these cops continue in the body cam videos, when the cops are canvassing the neighborhood right after the fact, and they're going door to door. These kids are all asking, "What's going on? Can you tell me what happened?" The cops are like, "No, we can't tell you anything. They're not giving out information." And therefore, Kim and Dave and Dot, you're not even real, so you're not worth mentioning. You live large and in charge on the TikTok, a fake persona. So Dot's not even real. So please don't come at me with Dot's real, Salty. No, she's not. She's fake. She was made up character by a couple of TikTokers who wanted to come over to YouTube and make some waves in the Idaho 4 case. Got together with another YouTuber, and they created a fake person who witnessed this, that, and the other happening that never happened. Lord, this case got so sideways so fast and so messy. That's why I'm avoiding a lot of that messy David situation and Celeste stuff. Because they're turning this into a clicks and views moment. Look what I found. You mean the same thing everybody else found? That thing? Okay. Yeah, I just can't with that stuff. It's such nonsense. Like, if I want to be a high schooler from teenager, going to get the maybe I'll be into it, but there's a lot of fluff out there, not enough action. And you have to be sitting there wondering, when those kids first walked into that house and they figure out something that horrific has happened, where does their mind immediately go? Who the hell did this? Who could have wanted to do it? Do I know who did it? That one guy I always felt was weird for the past several months. Could he have done this? Right? I mean, the emotions and things that probably ran through their minds. And people you might think could have done it, but you never would have thought, could they have done something like that? If you sit and seriously think about that kind of stuff. And I don't blame a lot of those kids for getting out of town. I probably would have called my kid home too, especially if I had a young girl. Especially if she lived in that particular neighborhood. Get out of there, get home, I'm coming to get you, all the things. We need to get you out of there for a minute. Oh, Woozy. Share your notes with me, Woozy. I love me some criminology. Look, I'll watch videos. I'll read articles. I went and took a deep dive into that new technology with the DNA for Rex Horman. Oh, goodness. That's a whole other show we got to get to. Because I'm super interested in that DNA technology they're about to bring into that New York courtroom. And I got questions. Not that I don't think Rex Heuermann did all that, because I do believe he did all that. But I got questions about your DNA and how you're getting to that. Yeah, that's kind of blurred lines. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So we're going to unpack some of that coming up. All right, let's get to this. It's all about the role social media plays in crime cases. And Woozy, that's super interesting to me, because I've been saying that since Idaho 4 case happened. And then when I saw, Delphi, Richard Allen and Brian Koberger were arrested a month apart. The impact social media had on those two cases floored me. A lot of things went down behind the scenes and right in front of everybody's face with those two cases, and how social media's role about derailed both cases. Did they help or did they hinder, right? That's always the question. Are we helping or are we hindering? We got some that help and some that hinder. I don't know. I think law enforcement needs to get better at communicating, even with social media personalities who now report news. I don't need to be a fancy reporter or get a fancy badge and call myself a reporter. I'm not on mainstream media. I'm not trying to be anybody's. I'm not trying to be all that. But those who say they are, and they're out here reporting quote unquote facts. You're mainstream media. Excuse me. You say you're on YouTube, but you're still mainstream media. You're scared to get in the weeds. You're scared you're going to look stupid. You're scared to ask a question. All the things, right? I can't. So they need to get better at communicating with the public in general about these cases. I said that in the Sebastian Rogers case. They let that thing get so out of hand by not coming out and clarifying things and making statements. It might be embarrassing to come out and say, we don't have anything, guys. We have no clue where to look. But come out and say that. So then we can try to get the resources in the right places. I don't know the answer, but we got to try to figure out some answers. I don't know. I'm not even paying attention to that Kirk situation. I don't do politics. I refuse. Nothing I say is going to change what goes on there in that world. And I have nothing to offer that's going to add to the conversation. People probably don't want to hear my thoughts because I don't like any of them. So it's not a good thing for me to be on. Yeah, I can't watch any of it. It doesn't matter if it's a criminal case, a political case. Social media is going to do social media. It's just going to be there. We either got to accept it or do like I do, ignore a lot of it, right? There's people on Twitter that will absolutely fight with pro burgers they live to fight with a pro burger all day long. I don't live for that. It's exhausting. It's dumb. I got better things to do, right? We got better things to do. I can't sit there for a couple hours and go on and on and on about what everybody else is doing and saying. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Woozy, why bring more why dramatize something that's already dramatic, right? It's like crazy, creepy thumbnails. Like, oh, I don't even understand why we just did that. Am I am I getting ready to go to the cartoons? Am I getting ready to watch a cartoon? That's what I ask myself when I see some of the thumbnails out there. And I'll be honest, if it's too cartoonish and childlike, I won't even go check it out. Because now I'm wondering about the show. Am I going to get childlike cartoons and laughter? Or, yeah, it's fun to do that and all, but okay. All right. Let me get myself together here. I got something in my way. I need to clean my desk off. Okay. Oh, we listened to Jack Showalter's audio interview as well. All right, we're going to get into now. The next one is Jack Decor, and unfortunately, Zav Girl is the only place I've seen it out there. I really don't even like saying her name after what she did in the Gannon Stalk case, but whatever. I'll let the authorities handle all that. This is where the video's at. I've looked in the other suspect places that have others, and this is the only one I've seen. Maybe somebody else has got it. I don't know. But we're going to get to the beginning of it because I don't want to hear her talking. Okay. Let me get All right, let me get to the beginning of it. Okay. So this is going to be the interview with Showalter, and God, this boy has so much shade thrown at him. Obviously, he dated Kaylee. Obviously, the police are going to want to talk to him. If we are not in true crime for a long time, that's how it starts. You got victims, you start close and you work your way out. Who are their boyfriends, girlfriends, date, all the things, right? Who's in their world? closest people. So obviously you're going to look at the boyfriend. He happens to live at the end of the street too. He happens to share a dog with this girl. Yeah, we're about to look at you and talk to you. That would be normal. I would be a little upset if they didn't. They took Jack's phone pretty much right away, did all the downloads on it. When he finally got released from the police for the questioning and all that, he ended up going over to Kaylee's family's house. Now, the G's have come out and said this. They've said it. We've known it for 3 years. Some didn't want to hear it. Some heard it. Steve Gonzalez didn't play with this boy. I wouldn't have played with him either. That's how parents roll. He got there. They made that boy strip, basically, and photographed his body to make sure he didn't have scratches, cuts, bruises, all the things all over his body. They know, and they knew early on he had nothing to do with what happened to Kaylee. But do you think the YouTube streets wanted to hear that? Oh, heck no. He did it. He did it. He did it. He did it. Little skinny redheaded kid did it. Like, whatever. He didn't do nothing. But love Kaylee. Who's got snark? What are y'all talking about? Hey, Riley, welcome in. I heard on YouTube of the drive-by boat. I heard about that too, Riley. I didn't look at it yet. These damn shootings are a dime a dozen all the time, and I can't with that conversation because people ain't gonna like what I got to say there either. But I did hear about that. I think there were a couple of guns going off this weekend. That's why it's scary to go to events anymore. And I can't sit here and say, well, I'm in tiny town America. I can go to the races and nothing's going to happen. Yeah, nobody can guarantee that. A country boy can lose his shit just as well as a city boy. I'm more scared of them country boys, I'll be honest. Well, I don't know. It's a toss-up. I don't know what's wrong with people's brains. Worcestershire sauce. Come on, stop. Let me read this. Snacking on what I made over the weekend. Chex Mix. No pretzels. And no Melba toast. That's not Chex Mix. And no tiny bread twist. That's not. I don't know what you're eating, dude. Just 3 kinds of cereal and 3 kinds of nuts. That's called cereal and nuts, Joe, not Chex Mix. Butter and Worcestershire. What kind of cereal? I bought Lucky Charms cereal bars because I had the munchies when I went to the store, and that's not a good idea. They weren't that great. Guys, they were like, meh, at best. I'm like, why'd I buy these things? Not gonna make me hungry, Joe. Stop it. But whatever, Joe's creation over there, he's eating on Joe's creation. I call them trial snacks. What? Oh, okay. Thank you. I see. I got derailed by Joe's comments. Oh, thank you, Sirius. We try to put the crime on the forefront and the case, right, and not the drama. That's, of course, we're going to talk about it from time to time, but we're not going to sit there and dwell in it like that's all there is to talk about. I might as well get off the YouTube and go find a couple of people to hang out with and gossip all day. Ugh.
Did
oh
you
God,
feel it from across the room? Did you feel a little?
I'm gonna mute that until this thing starts. It's gonna start in just a second.
Did you?
These damn cutesy pie songs for true crime is weird.
I've been. Now we'll never know.
Sorry, me trying to research something, man. Truly, all right. Just so you understand kind of what's going on, this is kind of how these things go. We pull everybody in that has any degree of affiliation, okay? So don't think that you're in trouble. We're trying to collect as much of this information as we can to try to get a clear picture on what's going on and figure out where to start looking, okay? So real quick, do you have a cell phone? Do you mind if I take it from you?
Yeah, that's all right.
I appreciate it. You need to text it.
So I was muted. Sorry. Like, you're muted, Salty. I don't usually pull a Joe too often. I was about to get up and I realized, no, I need to talk. Anyway, so they took his phone right there. Was it 238? So that's her intro music, Butterfly. I don't know. I can't explain other creators' intros and stuff. I just got the coffee and crime. Y'all gonna have to deal with it. I ain't trying to be nothing else, right? And I'm not that sweet girl that wears her heart on her sleeve and we need a cute warnings. That's just not me. I'm a hard ass. I'm such a hard ass. Sorry.
Anybody, let them know you're okay. I don't want someone to try to call you and your phone be off.
I've had a few people try to call me this morning. My parents are coming up from Coeur d'Alene as well.
Okay, but they're aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I might want to just let them know to come straight here.
Yeah, have at it. You're more than welcome to. You can call them, text them, whatever you want to do. Address is 155 Southview.
Hey, I'm gonna give them my phone, but I just wanted to let you know that I'll be at the police station if you guys are still coming.
Okay, we were just gonna come there and be there for you next week support or whatever.
Okay. When will you be here, just so I kind of know? When will you be here?
Almost hot lunch, so I think 20 minutes? 25 maybe?
If I talk to her?
Sure. One of the officers would like to speak to you.
Hello, ma'am. Hey, my name is Corporal Payne with Moscow PD. I just kind of want to give you guys, do you know where the PD is here in town? They might have lost me. I have good service up there. Oh, I think we're losing you. Okay, thanks.
I'll text her.
Yeah.
I think they're familiar with the area. I don't know if they moved spots.
Oh, so I'm sorry, I
Oh.
didn't hear that last part. It cut out.
Do you know where the new police station is?
No.
Okay, so the easiest way,
We could put it in Google Maps unless that will work.
yeah, the easiest way, ma'am, is just stay on the highway like you're going to Lewiston. You'll kind of go through town, you'll pass A&W on your right, and then keep going down that long hill, and you can't miss it. It's a big, brand new building on the left side of the road.
Okay, thank you. We'll be there as soon as we can.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, so real quick, what's your first name? What's your middle initial? And last name? What's the date of birth for you? Good address for you? And your phone number. Okay, I'm assuming this is, what kind of phone is this, iPhone?
Yeah.
What model do you know?
It's a 10X, I think that's what it's called.
Just so you know, we obviously try to get these back to you as quick as we can, okay? So it's not like you're never going to see your phone again. It may take a few days for us to process the information on it, and then we'll get it back to you, okay? So I just want to make sure I have a good documentation of who's whose, and we'll go from there, all right? So while we're on that note, I'm just going to fill in your info here. Okay, so this is just saying that you give Moscow PD consent to search your digital media, okay? If you wouldn't mind, if you're okay with that, right there it says consent or signature, if you wouldn't mind signing right there. And
just so you know, everything's recorded. This little camera right here is rocking and rolling. So, thank you. All right. I'm sorry, I'm not an iPhone guy, so it takes me that. You just hold it down to turn it on. All right.
Just click that right side button there.
No, turn it off. I thought you run out of battery.
I think you hold both of these.
Ah, there you go. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, can you just write your name on the top there for me if you wouldn't mind? All right. So, appreciate that. I know it's a weird thing to give up your phone to somebody, but I appreciate you helping us out. All right. Before we get into kind of timeline for last night and stuff, what you have? I'm assuming you have social media.
Yeah.
What accounts do you have?
And remember also, guys, when Kaylee and Maddie arrived home from the grub truck, and it's in the PCA, of the multiple calls that were placed from Kaylee's phone and Maddie's phone over to Jack. And Jack wasn't answering. But he says that in this interview, I believe it's this interview, that Kaylee, I think she texted him or called, it may have been a text, that she ended up with his vape from the club that night and told him he could come and get it if he wanted it. But then there were more phone calls placed to Jack that went unanswered. Like he said he went to bed. Now, can you imagine waking up and then realizing you had all those missed calls and now the police are everywhere at your girlfriend's house? The guilt that he must have carried. What if I'd have picked up that phone? Would it have changed the course of everything if I had just picked up the phone? I hope he doesn't live with that guilt forever. And it's redacted, guys. It's silent right now. Y'all gonna make me want to call him and do a grocery store order. That's not cool.
Okay. So I got your address. So starting yesterday, midday, wherever you want to start. Did you go to the football game?
No, I was working.
Oh, you're working. Okay, where are you working? What time does your shift end?
It's from like 2 to 10. I got out of there probably.
10 p.m. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good old cognitive dissonance. Y'all look, I came to a realization about 2.5 weeks ago. Laying in bed late at night, scrolling through my YouTube. Live. Who's live on their telephone right now? And boy, oh boy, oh boy. Have y'all seen some of them people that go live? Think about those people. Just go watch them late night and wonder what the hell they even doing on the YouTube. What are they doing live? They're weird. Their audience is weird. So when I realize these are the kind of, not them themselves, but people like them are here in true crime communities absorbing what they're hearing. And again, we can't fix stupid, so we gotta just let them be. But when you realize there really are people out there who are disassociated, don't have big brains, I don't know what you want to call them. Some are absolutely out there because they know people like the weird shit, and that's how they're going to make some money. I've often wondered, should I shut down my whole entire true crime thing and just go make me some weird YouTube videos and some weird TikToks and boy, rake in the dough. Have a little gift slung at my head and stuff. Damn it.
And then what did you do after you got off shift?
I went home, or I dropped off some food at my friend who's working at the corner club. And then I went home and met up with my friends, and then we went to the corner club as a group.
What time did you guys get to the club?
Probably close to 11.
Okay. What? Anything? Kind of talking through the rest of your evening there. You guys just hang out, or?
Yeah, we hung out there, and then I actually did run into Kaylee at the corner club. Said hi to her, talked to her for probably a minute or so. And then eventually, I don't know if she left before or after me, but I left. I came back home, pretty much just went to bed, and then I woke up and I saw a bunch of commotion down the street, and I walked out there just to see what was going on, and I kind of heard some things. But I later looked on my phone and found like 6 missed calls from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie as well.
6 missed calls from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie. And poor Jack, when the body cam videos are outside the King Road home and you got the roommates that were left alive standing there, and one of them is just crying her eyes out, talking about the man in the house, you could tell this boy was not happy with, in my opinion, he didn't care for the conversations that she was having right there. I don't think he cared for her a whole lot. He began to distance himself from that. I was watching and paying attention. And then the cop ends up putting him in the back of the cruiser and lets him sit there by himself. Because he completely walked away from Miss, I can't breathe. There was a man in my house. And that girl. I haven't tried those yet, Sirius Black. I see your comments there. I'm not huge on cigars.
Sorry, man. So you guys, what time did you leave the corner club?
Probably about 1. That's, I don't really know that. I wasn't paying attention at the time.
No, that's right. You guys went straight home after that. You guys stop and get grub truck, anything like that?
No, straight home. Straight home. Our sober driver was actually stopped by one of the officers.
Oh, really? Okay. Who's your...
Well, actually, we didn't get in that car because it was too full, but I came in contact with them because I was trying to get a ride.
Gotcha. Okay. So how did you end up getting home?
Just another buddy came and picked us up.
Okay. Who is that? Do you mind me asking?
He's...
I think
you have it.
How do you spell his last name?
So they didn't get in the first sober buddy car because it was too full. And they had to get a different car.
Then you just went straight home, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then about what time did you go to sleep? Do you remember?
Probably about a half hour after that, after I got home at 1-ish.
So 1:30-ish, fair to say?
That's my best guess.
Oh, so you didn't sneak over to another girl's house and you and your buddy, and that was your alibi? So WSU Mom Kim telling more lies out there on these YouTube streets. I'll call out her lies every time I damn well see one. Freaking heifer.
Okay. And then what time did you actually wake up?
Like 11:30.
11:30. And then did you have roommates at all? Mm-hmm. Were they there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2 of them were home when I walked out of my room, but I don't know who else was there.
Okay. Who are your roommates?
There's 4 of them.
Okay.
And then
I don't guess Jack or any of his roommates have made a statement anywhere like, we heard the dog barking, we heard Murphy barking, or we heard any dogs out there barking. Because I would not be surprised if Murphy, because Dylan says that Murphy's barking got further from the house, like as if he went outside. If Cooper came in the back slider and left it open, then Murphy goes down the stairs and at some point runs out that back slider, run around the yard barking and such. Do you think he ever would have ran down to where Jack's? Like, hey, like, you know how dogs are, especially as they start to mature, they'll look at you like, are you going to come with me? I hear something, see something kind of thing. My dogs do that. Come with me. Did that dog run down there? But again, on the 1122 footage, or the 1112, we don't see Murphy running around in the street anywhere. Still trying to figure out where Murphy was all night. I don't know if I'll ever get there. Poor guy.
okay. And let's see. That's all. And me, yeah.
Okay. So you said you woke up 11:30 and saw a commotion. What can you kind of describe that to me?
My roommate's window in his bedroom can just see like down the street, and he just like mentioned it. And I got up and looked, and I saw it was up by Kaylee's house, and so I walked.
And that's what we'd always heard. No, well, not always. Most of us heard it and we listened in the beginning. That's what happened. The roommates woke up, noticed what was going on down the street, and went and got Jack and told him.
Walked out there.
Was it like people or cop cars or?
Yeah, I mean, there's like 3 cop cars and some EMTs and stuff.
Okay. And was it about 11:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what time you said you went back and checked your phone? Do you kind of remember, like, you said that missed calls from Kaylee? Do you remember what time those came in by chance?
Yeah, they were like between 2:40 and 3. I think the last one was like 2:57. One of them was also FaceTime.
How many of them were there?
I think there was 6 from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie. And I don't, like, Maddie, I've known her forever, but she wouldn't just call me unless they needed something. So that was weird to me.
Okay. You said the last one was like 0240.
Now, what he just said, Maddie, he had known Maddie forever too, just like he did Kaylee. They were all kids, grew up together, all the things. So he was very good friends with Maddie. But like he said, Maddie would never just call him without there being a reason or whatnot. So he has to be thinking right now, were they calling me because they were hearing noises or they got scared or got spooked or something? There's probably all kind of things. Who knows what the girls wanted? Was it Kaylee, hey, what are we going to do about this dog? I want to talk about what's going on. Who knows? You know, you coming to get your vape? Who knows? Did Maddie start dialing his number for Kaylee? Or did Kaylee grab Maddie's phone? You know what? He's not answering from me, so let me call from your phone. You know how it is, girls. WSU mom Kim ain't got no WSU dad. I mean, he's there somewhere allegedly, but yeah, I don't know what her husband thinks about her. There's speculation out there. I've seen the picture. I don't know. Is she still married? I don't know.
70, something like that.
57, 257.
No text messages from either one?
Actually, I don't know how she got my little vape, but she texted me at like 2:45 and she said, hey, I have your vape, you can come get it from my house. But okay. I didn't see that till the morning.
But he didn't see that text until the morning. Hey, I got your vape. 2:45, is that what he just said? Because Koberger's circling the prey about 3:29. He starts entering the neighborhood down there. So they weren't calling because they heard noises and were afraid. Nothing had even happened yet.
And that was Kaylee?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know you said you were sleeping, obviously, most of the night, but at any point did anybody mention hearing, seeing anything out of the ordinary?
No, not that I heard.
Nothing, huh? Okay. Did you hear or see anything out of the ordinary?
No, not until the morning.
Yeah, not until you saw the cop cars and stuff? Okay. Have you noticed anybody around, like in your group of friends, or even just in the neighborhood, that you're like, oh, that guy's kind of, or gal is kind of off looking? Anybody stick out like that to you in the last few months since school started?
One day there's this like old minivan that was just like kind of backing up and like up our street and back down. And it just looked weird. I took a picture of it on my phone.
Okay.
Just never thought of anything of it, and that was probably a month or two ago.
So it was just backing down the street?
I mean, I live on like that dead end, so he like pulled up and then like backed down and then was just sitting there forever. And I might just be stereotyping, but
no, dude, good dude. I'll do the same thing. What's this car doing outside my house that normally wouldn't be out there doing this bizarre stuff? Now you're gonna sit there a minute. Let me just take detailed notes about this vehicle, because I don't ever know. Something could happen later, and I need to recall what I saw. Good luck finding Kim Woozy. She went MIA. She's a little laying low these days. Again, though, WSU Mom Kim, if you're watching and available, we would be honored to have you come on panel and have a discussion with us like a couple of adult women. And we can play the drinking game. We'll play the drinking game. Every time she says, I'm a mom, take a shot, and we'll be on the floor before the door can shut.
Good. It's the kind of stuff we need to know for sure. What color was it? Do you remember?
I think it was like a dark gold.
Dark gold.
But it was like peeling paint and stuff.
And that was about a month ago.
Yeah, I could find the date on my phone.
Look, there's a certain creator out there who claims to know where she's at and that she's okay. Nobody should worry about WSU Mom Kim. They've called and apologized to her because she was right about so many things. I about fell out my chair when I heard that.
Nothing else, no weird people walking around in the shadows and anything like that going on? No. Okay. Do you have any idea who would do something like this?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But Kaylee has called me and stuff, like if she's walking home and she thinks I'm like is watching her follower, she'll just call me.
Okay, how many times, no shade to Kaylee, but I might have a little bit of a little drama queen on our hands. And I'm not being mean and ugly, so don't come at me. Come if you want to come. But let me explain myself. I'm not being ugly toward Kaylee Gonzalez. I have no reason to be. But we've heard time and time again, Kaylee's got a stalker. Kaylee's being followed. Kaylee this, Kaylee that. There's somebody watching Kaylee. How much of that was true? How much of that was Kaylee's imagination? It's hard to decipher at this point because every single person claims that Kaylee has told this. And not just about one incident. There were multiple incidents. Was Koberger the one out there following her around the whole time? Was there validity to any of the things Kaylee was concerned about? Is she really just a little drama queen that, oh my God, they're watching me, I need to be careful? Because Kaylee watched a lot of true crime as well. So she knew to be aware of her surroundings. But was she too aware of her? You know what I'm saying? You know how young girls are. You don't know what a situation's like. I've had my daughter call me with fears that somebody was following or watching. And it scared the shit out of my daughter. So I take it seriously. But I'm wondering now, because we continue to hear it, was it a little bit of Kaylee's imagination getting away with her, or was there some validity to any of it? Koberger was surveilling a lot of young women in this town. It wasn't just one. So I'm just wondering, the guy in the bushes and the shadows, and she'd call Jack when she's walking home just to be safe, and I don't blame her. You need somebody on the other end of the line.
And just to have someone on the phone.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my theory of what the missed calls are from, but I still don't know what happened at all.
How often did she do that?
I mean, a couple times a year. But it's just like
not
she was feeling sketched out. Yeah.
It happened a couple of times a year if she was feeling sketched out. Koberger wasn't following them around for a couple of years. Hell, he didn't even get to Washington until June.
Did she ever mention that she thought someone specifically was following her, or was it more like I just getting creeped out?
Yeah, just getting creeped out.
Dylan said in her interview, "We were always pretty good about locking the slider, but we didn't that night." How do you know y'all didn't that night? I guess you're assuming y'all didn't because somebody made entry to the home. But apparently somebody slipped up that night, and that was the night y'all forgot to check the door. Like, how many perfect things have to fall in place to make this happen for Bryan Koberger? How much of it was luck? Did he know that door was going to be unlocked? Or he took a chance that I can just snatch it real hard and pop it right open, like most of these flimsy-ass sliding doors? Did he know enough about it to know he could do that already? Did he slip up out of the darkness one night when he knew they were not at home? He's back there lurking, doing his thing, and I'm going to slip out of the darkness and right on up to that back door and test it one good time while there ain't nobody here. You damn right he probably did.
Is there anything, are you in a frat at all?
I'm part of one, yeah.
Which house?
Welcome, Jeremiah Sutton, new subscriber in the house. Well, thank you for joining, and I hope I'm pleasant enough to make you want to come back.
Has there been any kind of weird conflicts with people in the Greek system? Anybody outside the Greek system? I mean, anything you can think of that might point us in the direction of who we'd be looking for. Any rivalries, any boyfriend-girlfriend drama that's gotten out of hand, anything like that?
No, not really. Everything's been pretty normal.
Okay.
I was going to mention, I'm sure this is something that they could tell you too, but there's a lot of people just coming in and out of their house all the time. Just because they're well-liked people, and I think more people knew the code to their door than they should have.
Boom. There it is. We've known that. And it's not a stretch to imagine that that was exactly the case. And when you give the code to 5 people, good friends, did one slip up and give it to their good friend? Because that's my good friend. And then that guy gave it to his good friend, who gave it to his girlfriend. It's so dangerous. And Jack was even on to that it was dangerous. Too many people had access to that house. That is another talking point. That opens the door to a whole conversation with your kids. And again, don't live in the clouds and think, I don't need to talk to my kiddo about this. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
But yeah, no specific conflicts or anything like that.
Were they pretty good about locking their other doors?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't know. I know there's a sliding glass door in the back. I don't know if they keep that locked all the time. But I also own a dog with Kaylee, and I don't know where he is.
Okay. Was he with Kaylee or at the house?
Yeah.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a mini golden doodle.
And he was there that last night?
As far as I know, yeah. I heard that someone saw like a shadow when they took Murphy. I don't know who it was, but took Murphy to go pee outside before they went to bed.
Okay.
That's just.
So he's standing out there on the corner across from King Road with the other kids, listening to everything Dylan was out there saying about the seeing the shadow. It took the dog for the walk. Then we went back inside. Then we didn't know where Murphy was. And then Maddie came to ask me if I knew. And he walked away. That girl would have got on my nerves too. Not throwing shade, but I'm that girl in the horror movie. Please don't be the screaming girl to get me killed. Because I'm about to pop you. Then I got to apologize because I popped you to get you to be quiet. That's Dylan.
That I heard from one of the girls that was there.
Who said that to you? Did she describe it at all, or did she just say she saw? Like, what did she actually tell you? Do you remember?
I just overheard a conversation with someone else, but she said that I don't know if it was Kaylee or her, but because I wasn't even part of the conversation. But she said there was a shadow, and they grabbed Murphy and went inside and locked the door. And I never thought of anything of it.
Dog's name is Murphy, you said?
Yeah. Do you know where he is, or someone has
No idea, man. I really don't. Well, we'll keep an eye out for him. We can let everybody know they can watch out for him, okay? Is he chipped at all, you know? He's put like one of those.
He's not, no.
Okay. Is he like a medium size, like?
Yeah. He's about like 40 pounds.
Okay. So he said, and again, you're not in trouble. I just got to make sure I ask all the questions.
Good cop, bad cop. Again, you're not in trouble.
She's supposed to be moving to Texas for a job.
I wonder if Jack would have eventually changed his mind and moved to Texas with Kaylee. You know?
Was there ever anybody that like hit on her at the bars, or was texting her a lot, or anything like that that would be seen kind of out of the ordinary to you?
I mean, I could think of one.
Okay. Who is it?
Uh-oh.
What's his name?
How do you spell his last name, you know?
I don't think he was like that just to Kaylee. I think he's just that kind of guy.
He's just real flirtatious.
Yeah.
Okay. Would he like text her, call her, like?
I saw his Snapchat on her phone.
Okay, gotcha.
A few times. And she would show me.
What kind of stuff was he saying?
Just, hey, I'm just trying to get her to talk.
Oh, okay. Trying to initiate conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anyone in that group of friends, did anybody ever tell you anything about stalking anyone aside from obviously Kaylee saying she, like would call you on occasion when she was watching home? Anything you can think of where someone might have told you, hey, like this dude or this person, won't stop talking to me or looks at me funny in the comments or whatever? Anything like that you can think of?
No.
Okay. Do you know who do you have anyone in mind who you think would have done this?
Mm-mm.
No?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Last night, you said you saw Kaylee at the corner club, right? Okay. Did she seem normal? Was she?
Yeah. She just came up to me and I said, "What's up?" And I don't even really remember we had like a 30-second conversation.
Okay.
But.
There's a picture that surfaced from the corner club, taken off a screenshot off of their video feed, and it's Kaylee is standing there in the bar talking to Jack. He's sitting on a bar stool. Or at a table.
Did it seem normal? Did it seem off? Did it?
Yeah, everything seemed very normal. Okay. We usually do run into each other on weekends.
Okay. So, you said you weren't sure if she left before or after. You did?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Was it packed in there last night? Was it? It really is.
I had to stop letting people in.
Right. Let me make that place bigger. Anybody at the corner club that you saw? Odd?
No, I just saw her with her friends like the whole time I was there at least.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think I have any further questions for you right now, okay? Just like I've been telling the girls the same thing.
And I have to keep wondering, and I always will, I guess, because trying to figure out when did Koberger, decide these victims, and that particular night and that particular time was go time. So he's not at the bar, like he wasn't over there hiding out by the house and following the girls wherever they went that night. To know they went to the bar and then to the food truck and on to the house. But how did he know where they were and their movements and what time they got home? Were they posting every single solitary move to Instagram? We're going to the football game. We're going to go over here. We're now at the corner club. How did he know when they all arrived home? There's so much. It's like, why couldn't y'all make him answer the important questions, law enforcement? We'll get there. We'll figure it out on our own.
This kind of thing affects everybody different, okay? So you may be kind of just, apathetic about it for a while. It may hit you.
Yeah, like Rachel says, the corner club is your average corner hole-in-the-wall bar. Got tons of them around here. Small bars, college town. And the corner club been there for a long, long time, right, Rach? And it sits like on the corner there, but it is a smaller establishment, so it doesn't take much for it to get packed and noisy. Gosh, I know those little bars too well from back in the day. My mom's friend owned one, and I was always in there helping them out with things. So, yeah, then small bars can get noisy and overwhelming real quick, like.
All of a sudden, it's going to hit you sooner or later, okay? It just may be different than other people, all right? So just understand that the campus has a lot of resources for you guys, okay? We have a lot of resources. We have a chaplain. I mean, we can put you in touch with counselors, but do me a favor, amongst your friend group, don't let anybody not work through this, okay? If you see somebody starting to, yourself included, if you start internalizing it and not wanting to deal with it, or see somebody doing things in an unhealthy way, if you can't get a hold of anybody else, call us, okay? Even if you can't get a hold of anybody else, we're always here, okay? Everybody in this building knows what happened. We're all more than happy to help you guys, okay? The campus officers are fantastic dudes. Captain Barrett's a fantastic guy. If you guys need anything, and I truly mean this, please call us, okay? The last thing we want to do is have something as terrible as this get worse because folks don't have the tools they need to work their way through it, okay? It's not going to be easy, I won't lie to you, but we're here to help you guys, okay? Thanks. Okay, you have any further questions for me, man?
I would just like to get my dog.
Okay. I'll make sure everybody's tracking that we're looking for your dog, and so we'll get a hold of you, okay, right away.
I don't think he's lost. I think, because one of the officers on the scene asked, is that your dog upstairs? So I think someone has him.
Okay.
Or he's still up there, I don't know.
Okay, I'll check for you, okay? And like I said, I don't know, I haven't been to the scene, so I don't know, but I'll ask around and see if I can get an answer for you, okay? If I get an answer for you, we'll find a way to get in touch with you. What's your mom's number?
Remember, we've seen photos of the dogs walking Murphy.
Dad?
The cops walking Murphy out in the street before they took him down to the Humane Society.
Okay, the only other thing I ask of you is, obviously, we got to make sure we get in touch with people's parents and make notifications the proper way. So if you guys could all refrain from, I know I have your phone, but obviously you can log on other people's. Please help us keep this quiet on social media until we can make sure folks are notified the proper way, okay? They likely already have been or are in the works of being notified, but the last thing we want to do is have some...
Well, no, sir, it's 2 o'clock your time, and the Gonzalez didn't get the cop knock on the door till 4:30 their time. So it took us several hours. Kaylee was unrecognizable. Identifying her body was not easy. And of course, you don't want all the information out on social media, but look, guess what? At this particular time, her mama was already at home trying to decipher what was rumor and what was real. and not knowing if her daughter was shot or how whatever happened. That's got to be. And Maddie's mom was already on the way to Moscow. Xana's dad had already turned around and headed back toward Moscow. The G's were still at their house.
You can find out on Facebook, you know what I mean? So,
I don't know where the other girl's parents were. What happened to my internet? What's going on?
and then I guess that wasn't the last thing. The next thing I'll ask of you is, so the way traumatic events sort of cement themselves in your head, sometimes it'll take a while for the initial shock to kind of wear off, and then you may think of something. It may be something little, it may be something like, oh yeah, I saw this dude at the corner club who just didn't sit right, you know what I'm saying? If something like that happens, get a hold of us, okay? It may be nothing. We may look into it and be like, no, there's nothing there. But it may be something that we really need to know, okay? And we don't know it unless you guys bring it back to us, all right? So please let everybody else know the same thing. If they think of anything at all, please just let us know, okay? It could be something as weird as a vehicle that they haven't seen in the area before. Somebody they saw walking by more than one time, or just something like that. Let them know that we need to know those things, okay?
Okay. When you said vehicle, just remind me that Kaylee has a borrowed vehicle from a dealership right now.
Did y'all hear that? Kaylee has a borrowed vehicle from the dealership right now, which is a very odd statement considering that Range Rover is parked right out in front of the yard at King Road. Now, she had just bought the car a couple days before then and was going to go back to Moscow to show the car off. But according to Jack, she had a loaner car. A loaner Range Rover? Did she get her Range Rover back before heading down to Moscow and he just didn't know it? The G's claim they paid off that Range Rover we see sitting in the parking lot, and they have it to this day. I guess they still have it. There's video of Steve riding around in it on Kaylee's birthday. So that was the first time we'd heard that was a loaner vehicle from the dealership. So I don't know what's going on with that.
I figured there's probably confusion of whose car that was. Okay. She just bought a car and it broke the next day, so they lent her a car while they fix it.
You know what dealer?
I'm not sure. It's in Spokane.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you talking to me. All right. Like I said, we'll get your phone back to you as quick as we can.
You said probably a couple days.
Yeah, probably so. All right. And yeah, we'll let you know as soon as we have something for you. But like I said, if you guys think anything or if you need any help, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. We're here to make sure you guys are as taken care of as you can be. Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Now, we know there was several interviews conducted with Jack. So I don't know how many more were audio, video, or just written reports. That we have already read through some of the reports with Jack's interviews, and now the videos are coming out. I don't know about that being a loaner car for Kaylee, though. I mean, because that was and we do know that I don't believe the one that was in the parking lot came back registered to Kaylee, but she had just bought the car. So I don't know, I know that there was some talk about that out there over the weekend. Does it matter? Was it actually her new car? Was it the loaner car? It doesn't matter. That's her car parked out there. Yeah, she bought it used, Rachel, so it didn't have to come from a Range Rover dealership. You know what I'm saying? It was a 17? So it was a used Range Rover. It could have come from I don't even remember what the dealership was, but it could have come from a number of places. But I think he was just trying to clarify to them in case you're trying to identify these cars and you're having a hard time with this one, here would be the reason why. So I'm still unclear about the car that day. All right, let me there are more stuff. There's more interviews and stuff we're going to be unpacking throughout the week, and tomorrow we'll get back to some more of it. I'll get my schedule prepared for this week. So you guys, the other day we were watching, and I'm not done making a video I'm working on. We were looking at Plunder True Crimes video, and they were showing all the different car footage of the night, the Koberger's movements that night. And we were looking at all the Indian Hills stuff, right? And that one house popped up, and I'm like, that's a weird angle. What am I looking at? My brain just could not wrap my head around it. I had to go make it make sense because I can't stand when it don't. So this is the house that it was looking at. And it was like, that's weird. The camera appears to be pointing dead at the house and not a street. Why? Now I know why. And it also appeared there was a road down here to the right-hand side of the home, and there is. So I went on that street as well. You can see this round retaining wall that comes out around that house on the right-hand side there of the driveway. Looking at the house, it's a drop-off there. So it's a tall retaining wall there. Up toward the garage, just above the house, up on the left, that's Indian Hills Road. And you'll see the headlights of Koberger's car come into the frame as he comes down toward Indian Hills right there. But this house, the address is listed as Indian Hills because it literally sits right there, but it doesn't face the road, right? It's like this. So you have Indian Hills Road is there, a driveway that goes down into their property, and you go toward the left, and that is the home. And the front of the home doesn't face the highway. This little building here, this tall little building here in the middle, that is on that property facing that home where the garages are. There's a camera on that building facing that garage. Now let me pull this up 1 second. And I don't know if because I'm going to have to match it with the other videos. So it looks like, because you cannot tell what kind of car that is. There's no way in heck. I don't care how many FBI specialists you get, you cannot say that those headlights that you see are an Elantra. But what you can do is say, okay, it passes this house, and then 2 houses down, we capture a better image, and that's how you determine if that was that car or not. Yeah, you can get your car. I bought a used car from a dealership. I'm just saying I didn't go to the Honda dealership to do so. I was at a Chevy dealership, right? That also has so you don't have to go to. If you're going to go buy a brand new Range Rover, yeah, you may want to go to a specific dealership. But for a run-of-the-mill used car, you can pretty much go to any lot you want to go as long as they have one on board in their lot, right? Somebody come in and traded a Range Rover for a whatever, they got one to sell now. That's how it works. I got family who are all up in them car dealerships. In fact, my daddy just bought a truck the other day from my cousin from the dealership. My son works at a car dealership as well. His specific cars there, but they also have many other types of cars you can purchase. You know, it could have come from Uncle Tom's, Mr. Williams car dealership. Who knows? You know, any pick a name. In fact, I think the sticker is still on her truck from where it come from. But that kind of detail doesn't. I'd rather know where Cooper got his car and why y'all were going to bring that guy in to testify, right? Like, that's the story, and not where Kaylee bought her car, or if it was actually her car that day, or if it was a loaner. I'm more interested in why Koberger bought a black bra for his car in the middle of nothing for no reason. And what was this talk about maybe selling it? And Olivia Gonzalez over there on TikTok, honey, are you reading the Celebrite report they gave you a copy of? Because we know they did. And I really want to read what you're reading, ma'am, so please continue to share. All right, let me pull this map up. When people think I'm not looking at stuff, guess what? I'm all over it and looking. I just may not talk about it all the time, but I'm looking. Okay, so here's the house here on Indian Hills. And see this little street here, this arrow street? When that car comes into frame, it just sees the headlights, and it looks to me like it goes down this street versus coming all the way down Indian Hills, passing this home. It appears to have went down this street, but it's a dead end, so I don't know. That's like a little cul-de-sac, because I don't see the lights continue to come down Indian Hills Road. I'm gonna have to watch that video again to see exactly where it goes. So here's that house, and let me make my screen a little bigger because I'm still mapping out all his movements from that day. There's that little place there, okay? So, and it has the camera right here. There's big lights on the top. The camera's right there. And then you can see it looks right toward the home. And I'll go show you guys the front of the home. And then back here, hang on, yeah, okay. Because back here, let me zoom it out a bit, it's be easier, is where you see the car lights come into the frame. All right, let me turn around and go back this way. And the house is for sale, it appears. All right. So if you go back looking at it, there's the house right there. So at this angle, you got a camera looking right at the house. We see the car lights back over here behind it. Isn't that crazy? And it doesn't appear to come straight down the road. And I was like, But I was like, why? Because when we went on the map looking for that particular address, all the houses are facing the road. Remember? And I was like, wait a minute. If you go to that address, I get the side of a house. How does it see anything on the road? That's the kind of shit that don't make sense that I got to go make sense out of, because I just can't have somebody tell me. I got to go look for myself. But that's how that I ended up having to work that in my head. So we also know that this address right here also has the actually it's this one with the white van. This house also captures the car. But I got to go back and look at the timestamps on the different ones, right, of the videos. But I wanted to show you guys that we did figure out where that house was located. Because if you got a car passing by, I need to know all the deeds, right? You're telling me it turned around and did all this bizarre stuff. I need to go look for myself and see if we can't figure it out. But for some reason, that was bugging me, and I just could not rest until I found that darn house. And the way I found it was trolling the maps. And then I went down that bottom street below and looked up from that street. And I was like, well, that's sitting right there the whole time. So I had to go do it. But I wanted to show you guys where it was located, because we were having a little discussion about that the other day. Y'all know how my brain, if you're new to the channel, you may not know. So those of you who have been here a minute know I have to work things out, and I talk it out loud. That's part of the beauty of having a channel. We can talk it out, and I work it out loud. That's the way I work through things. And what I'm saying when I'm saying it sometimes may not make sense. And I'll debunk my own theories when I'm talking out loud, trying to work it out in my head. That's the only way for me to get there. I can sit there and think about it for hours, but I got to talk about it out loud for a minute and say, wait, did that actually make sense, right? Because once you say it out loud, sometimes it doesn't. We buying Joe hey, isn't today National Coffee Day or something another? I'll take some coffee. I don't know what we got to do to get support. I mean, I want to do FOIA requests and all that, but I'm not in the funds like that. I see folks supporting folks for, I don't know why sometimes, but anyway, yeah. It is what it is. I'll do FOIA requests when the channel gets a little funds built up. And until then, I'll rely on other people. And we have some good people out there doing it, right? Working on it and trying to get it out there and waiting on those requests to be honored. Rachel, well, when you got nothing to do but ride around, right? Because you can't sleep, what you gonna do? You're gonna go troll and find. And a lot of times you just got to ride around to figure it out. This guy apparently did a lot of running around. Lots of riding around, lots of getting familiar with the area, speed demon all over town. Every day is National Coffee Day. Yes. I can't make it without that stuff. Hell, I took a thermos of coffee with me to the racetrack the other night. Although there's like a little food truck type situation going on there, a couple of them, but this one particular one, they have the best cold coffee and they have little mini donuts. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't have done that night. I was like, now I want to get the little mini donut making machine, because now I'm like, I really want to make those. I did deep dive that camera angle, Riley. I can't help it. It's like, I got to know where it's at. I don't want someone just to tell me here's where it was at, right? We need to go look and make it make sense. What do you mean that's a weird camera angle? You know, in my mind, because up here, like I said, to the left is where you see the car headlights. Actually, let's look at Plunder's video again real quick before we head out for the day. And I'll show you guys again. It's just like, I was like, what in the world? I'm just out. I can't sleep at night, so I drive around. In the daytime, I don't sleep either, so that's when I go hiking all the way. All these hundreds of thumbs up pictures in the hikes that nobody ever received. I wonder if he did send any of those photos to Mother that day. What is this truck in my yard? Hold on. Oh, big delivery truck. My son must have ordered something. Oh, wait, did I not have it saved here? Yeah, I think he was, Rach. Yeah, Riley, I didn't know what that little tall building was at first. Like, we got a tiny house situation here. It appears to be, I can't tell if it's a shed or if it's a tiny house. Because on the other side of it, would be facing that other street. There's a door and a little porch and a chair and a table sitting there. So I was like, oh, that's a cute little building. I'd take it in a heartbeat. I can tiny house live. In fact, I would be tiny house living right now if I had a choice, I think. Right by myself somewhere. Preferably on a little spot in the water. Let me pull up this video because it's not where I thought I had it. I've threatened to turn my son's shed / pole barn into a tiny house. He's like, why? You literally live in the regular house? I'm like, I just like my privacy, man. It is what it is. I could live in a van down by the river and it wouldn't bother me at all. Folks like, look at you funny, like, what? But I could do it. Okay, where's this video at? Let me see. Okay, here we go. And it should be set right where we need it, I think. Yeah. Okay, share screen. My thing is, my monitor keeps, every now and then it'll blink out and my screen will go black for a split second. I don't know what's causing that. You could glamped chicken coop. It wouldn't surprise me, Riley, right? I've seen some pretty badass little chicken coops out there. My neighbor's having a time with her chickens. They will not stay put no matter what she does. I video them being little escape artists all the time. They crack me up. The chickens are comical. Okay, let me get it to where, all right. So this was the 755 Indian Hills location. And that's the driveway looking down toward the street. We found this house already. But you can see the camera trained right on their house. So there goes passing by this driveway on Indian Hills. And you can tell it's a white sedan in that shot. Now, coming up next will be the house we've been looking at. Hear Al in the background. Now it's about to switch over. There we go. So this is the image, right? Top left corner back there, you'll see that car come into frame. you'll see headlights. You guys tell me, does it look like it turned down that little cul-de-sac street, or because it doesn't appear to continue to move forward? Unless we just can't see it from this angle, right? So there's headlights coming. And there's more lights. But see how far it seems to be further away than Indian Hills Drive. Because it literally runs right there. Where's this car at? Way back there doing, like, I got to go troll that map again because that don't make no sense to me and my brain don't like it. Do y'all have thoughts about that? Let's see. Yes. Girl. Look, don't even play about the Temu pop-up blow-up igloo thingies, because guess what I was looking at all weekend long? I gotta have me one of those clear dome pop-ups, and I want it clear. I want it for my pole barn for this winter. I just do, and I'm already looking. But I have to put something heavy inside because I live in a wind tunnel and it might blow away. Because I spend too much time outside. I'm not looking forward to winter. All those wishing winter upon us, stop it. I don't like staying in the house, and I cannot even fathom being cooped up in this house for an entire winter. I will go insane. I have to get outside. I like to go sit for an hour or two, and I need to be comfortable when I do so. I don't want to sit in the cold. Either turn my son's shed into a actual little area that I can go chill in, or get me a pop-up dome, right? We'll make it work, won't we, Riley? Like, don't play with us. When you go down on that bottom street, you can look up and see this home. And there's that little building again. But it's just weird to me that you just see glimpses. That car, was it way back here? There's a road there as well, or is that a driveway? So that's the Arrow Street. And it's a cul-de-sac. So what are we doing? Uh-oh. There we go. So if you go back down Arrow to Indian Hills and you look back toward that house, right? I don't know where it's seeing that car at, guys. I'll have to try to figure that out when I map it again. Because it's down here. Like, I just can't. I'm not the best at directions. Don't tell me to go north, east, south, or west. I'm going to look at you like a fool and go, what? Just which way? Point with your finger, right? So it takes me a minute to get my bearings. But it appears from that camera, this car we see is way back here and doesn't continue down the street. That's all where I'm stuck at. I don't know. Maybe y'all see something better than I see it. I don't. You know what I mean? Hey, you choose to live where you live, dude. I choose to stay in Florida. And Florida doesn't choose winter. We didn't choose that 3-day snowstorm last year, neither. Y'all can have at it. Wish it upon yourselves. I'm going to wish all of that cold weather back at you. Back at you. I think, sweater weather, pumpkin spice, everything. Yeah, yummy and stuff, but I always go left, Sarah. Hey, look, if the crowd goes right, I'm that one going left. To the left, to the left. If you know, you know. Sooner or later, you get somewhere. You can get somewhere running in circles sometimes, maybe, right? I hate when I feel like I'm running around in circles. Like, what's that old saying my granny always say? You run around like a chicken with your head cut off. If you don't know what that looks like, whoa, buddy. It's not cool. It's quite the sight. Salty Sleuth Crime Shack. Winter is looming. Y'all, I'm a summer baby. I'm a summer girl. I don't like the winter. It's cold, dreary, depressing, sad, all that stuff. Like old bear when it got to hibernate and stuff. So we'll probably be doing lots of true crime over the winter because I'll be bored and stuck inside the house wishing it was spring and summer because that's just how I go. All right, guys. So I wanted to show you guys about the house. We founded it. We founded it. And we'll keep a follow up on anything else coming down the pike. Welcome in, Sarah. We've told you about Sarah's Twitter account. She always posts a lot of great documents there. I keep the Idaho document pinned in my Discord since the day it went live. But if you don't have access to that, Sarah's always dropping links to all the latest documents that come down in the case. There's a lot of folks out there who try to get the information out there, and then you read it and do what you will with it and make up your minds about what's in the documents, what they mean. You're in the 90s there today, where it's warm here. It won't start getting cool here till late October. When we have the fair that comes every year right around the same time, Halloween. It's a toss up here on Halloween. You don't know if your baby's going to be cold that night. Is it going to be hot? You got to kind of plan your Halloween costume in Florida around what the weather's doing. If you think it's going to be cold, your baby's going to burn up all night long sweating. If you think they might get too hot, they're going to be free. It's just a whole ass thing. We don't ever know what's going to be. We'll start out warm and end the night cold. All right, everybody, thank you all for coming in and looking at these videos with us. I've got more for us to unpack. We got more stuff in the Delphi still to unpack. There's some really good people in the Delphi community taking charge of what's coming down and separating it and putting it into Google files and the Google Drives, and they're doing a fabulous job. All eyes on Delphi is, I don't know when the girl sleeps, but she's doing tremendous work there. And it makes it easier for creators like me who want to go and find certain things and read about it, quick and easy to find it, and to bring up the content and documents that we want to look at on the show as well. So thank you for everybody who puts in the group efforts in these cases, right? And helps keep the information out there. Yes, Sarah, I've been looking at so you're working on a spreadsheet there, and I've been reviewing that. I looked at that some this weekend as well, and I do want to talk about that coming up this week. So I have the link for that, and I'll be sharing that as we and I think you have a link on your X account. So guys, go over and check out Sarah's X account and scroll through and check out her content, and you'll see a link there to her Google Drive where she's putting all this information together. Oh, Rachel, there's so much to unpack, and it's a little overwhelming as to where to start, right? And I'm really, I don't want to do it alone. There's so much there that, yeah. And I need consistency. So I'll be reaching out to my mod team later this evening, actually, about an idea I had. So you guys look forward to hearing from me later on this evening, and we'll see if we can't get a little meeting in works and come up with a game plan on some things. Again, everybody, thank you for your patience for coming in. We do the best we can here. I try to bring you guys the best content that I know how, try to bring you the information, facts, and of course, we're going to talk about the drama from time to time, and we're going to talk about theories and all the things. That's what we do as a community. But we have a great community here, and I thank you all for being so great with each other, right? There's none of that weirdness going on because we don't invite it in. I feel like when you invite it in, you make it comfortable, it's there to stay, and then they take over, and that's not what we do here. Yeah, thanks for joining us and being a part of the conversation. That is what we love around here. And I appreciate all you guys for coming in. Tomorrow, we'll unpack more of this. There's some stuff there's just so much that I want to go over. I need to pinpoint a couple of specific things this evening to add to tomorrow's show. So I don't want them to be super overwhelming in one show, right? And I want to keep it easy for the playback crew as well. 5-6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 hour lives are a little much to try to catch on a replay. 5 6 And, where's the information I want? Did it get lost in conversation? All the things. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Y'all know this. Y'all know what I say. Stay safe out there on them YouTube streets. There's potholes everywhere. It could be dangerous. Buckle up, Buttercup. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you back here tomorrow. If you didn't hit the like button on your way in, please hit it on the way out. It does help get us into the algorithm, which not for my sake, but for the story's sake, right? Getting the information out there and helping drive new people toward our channel here in the community. So again, thank you everybody for being here. We appreciate it. Any swamp ape? Yeah, I've been looking for them. I still look for them. I'm in the swamps all the time. I'm on the river banks. I'm in the boat deep in the river. I got a restaurant. We got one restaurant in my town. It's called Bigfoot's. Go figure. But yeah, I look for them all the time. I've been trying to find them for all my life. And I'm going to continue to hunt until I find one. So I've seen a lot of bizarre things in the woods around here. And I live next to one of the largest Air Force bases in the world. We see bizarre stuff all the time. Thanks for coming in, everybody. And I hope you come back tomorrow and tune in and spend your week with us here on the show. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching this here video. Please like and subscribe and follow. Much love from Little Yas.